Revival Season 3 playoffs. We've got another quarterfinal. We're going to determine the final team out of the upper bracket coming in the first round. One of these two teams will get knocked into the lower bracket. The other one will advance to face 5 stars in 2 days from now. That will be my team. And joining me today is none other than Retro.
Hello. It's good to be back here again. It's been a minute since I've casted, but hello, thank you for having me, Reep.
Yeah, always a pleasure to cast with you. Yesterday I had to stick through with Selberg because we couldn't find anyone else.
Damn.
But Selberg did okay on the cast. I wanted him to flame the teams a bit more. I thought he'd have that confidence, but I'll give him some more time. Maybe if you invite him on a second time, he'll have enough confidence to just flame these teams hard. I'm very ready to just criticize everything Lumina does just because it's funny. I'm going to be very biased, so you need to save this cast. I'm not going to do much.
Yeah, well, you're going to be relying on somebody who's had very little sleep over the past, 48 hours, so I don't know how good of an idea that is, but, we'll see. I don't think that it could be any worse than some of the casting I've done all the way back in Season 1 playoffs, when I was I don't even remember what that was. But without any further ado, it's Lumina versus Arrow on Clubhouse, and those are some interesting bands. Wouldn't you agree, Reap? Those bands interesting to say the least. I mean, just walk me through them. The Habana specifically, I want to hear your thoughts about it.
I hope you're being at least somewhat ironic about this because we're on Clubhouse. These are the most boring ass bands I've seen in the entire history of Rainbow Six Siege, because Habana and Kaid are like the number one bands for Clubhouse. Of course, Habana is the hatch queen, so you want to take her out, especially for basement. You can see that we are in a quick pause at the moment, but you can see, of course, Lumina starting on the defense. They want to go Arsenal Church first because basement, you don't got the Habana to work with, so it's very difficult to open hatches. And even if then you can impact trick. So there's going to be a lot of secondary hard breach that needs to be brought, and we can see, at least for now, on the side of Arrow, at least Capitao, Buck. I think they might be expecting a top floor at the moment. They can still switch it around, even a Maverick. So they have 3 operators that can potentially bring hard breach if you count the can openers. And then, Monty, the most default ban that you can do here on Clubhouse because of Rafters when you want to play CC or even Cash, or CC or Cash, that's the same site. Ignore
Jim.
me. Jim, yes, that's the other one. Jim Master, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah. And then, Solace. Okay, Solace is a strong operator. You're going to ban Solace on most maps. There's a few teams that just refuse to play Solace whatsoever. And then there's just a few that ban her only on 8 instead of all 9 maps. It's just a very strong operator. You're not going to see her much just because there's such a high ban rate.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I do want to point out before we get any further into this is, of course, when I signed up to cast today, I was expecting us to see the new season, of course, which was supposed to come out Tuesday, but due to Ubisoft issues, and unfortunately had to be delayed for what we can only assume will be next week, what we don't know. So we will still be able to see. There goes the first kill onto the operator that I was actually going to talk about, those grenades in the pocket of the Finca, of course. On this bomb site, not too noteworthy, considering the fact that it is basement, but for the upper bomb sites, of course, grenades will still be very important. There goes another kill. Arrow are getting absolutely obliterated. There goes the refrag finally, and another one to follow as well. Immediately to equalize that man count, bring it down to 3-3, and take out the roam game from Lumina quite early on. A very good answer from Arrow in face of losing their 2 opening frags, which is really not good considering which players they lost. Huh? Not on my end, no.
Just a quick bit of issue on the back end of productions. There's some issue with the live stream, but in the meantime, we'll continue. I think you may have cursed them because you said Arrow getting destroyed and immediately Lumina overstep and are punished with both of their roamers going down, and so now we end up in a 3v3, still more than half the round to go. This is plenty to work with for Arrow. There's been a few players lost, especially I think the Capitao is going to hurt for the endgame execute. Finca, not the worst player to lose. I mean, if you're going to have somebody die, might as well be the Finca. You still got most of the hard breach alive. You got Benny still playing the Maverick, can probably deal with those hatches. Shishka also has 2 can openers in back pocket. Now bottom main control firmly established for Tav, and Arrow have complete map control at this point. Lumina have completely pulled back into side, as they've of course lost both of their roamers. And with only 1 minute on the clock, there we go. Shishka now using the utility. Gonna play a bit more vert, gonna set up and just get in position to try and start and execute. And they will have to identify where Lumina is playing and try and counter that. Lumina doesn't have any tools in the back pocket. Only C4 was on Kieran, and that's been used. So nothing to deny the plant other than gunfire, but they need to make sure they keep control or at the very least retake in the correct spot. 40 seconds left, timer ticks lower. Execute will have to come through, but a good angle from Cannon takes down Tav. So man advantage for Lumina going into this execute. That's going to be tough for the remaining 2 players.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. Another great shot there coming up from Rooney, and it's all down to Benny, the Maverick. Diffuser in hand, but only 20 seconds on the clock. He sees one pushing up those stairs, a lot of damage being done to Rooney, not enough to kill him, however. That clock still dwindling down. He's being attacked every which way. He does manage to find the finisher onto Rooney. Drones coming out. He knows exactly where Kieran is. It isn't really able to pick up that kill, and with the timer running down, even if he gets that particular kill, the round is over and in the hands firmly of Lumina Gaming, who take this first round and set us up for a great start here in Clubhouse.
Yeah, good start from Lumina. Right out the gate, coming out swinging, not scared of any of the gunfights against Arrow. Overstepping in the mid-round, just not pulling back their roamers properly, but ultimately they seem to have punished enough because the Capitao was dead. That's most likely the initial execute plan for Arrow gone. So Lumina take a comfortable first round, playing it well here, just getting rid of all the utility that they need to. And now, of course, strongest bomb site out of the way, gonna go to Gym Bedroom next. This is kind of what we expect nowadays. Gym is pretty much the second strongest site right next to basement. Depends on the bans. If Hibana's open, I'd argue Gym is even stronger than basement. But as it is, I mean, solid choice. You've got the Mira still in play. Mira also a very powerful operator on some of these sites. And we'll see if Lumina can close out this second defensive half, or the second defensive round, because I think this is what you are going to be looking for when you're on the defense. You want a 4-2 split, and you want to do it on the more comfortable bomb side. So you're going to win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1. If you can do that, that's like your standard defensive half. Then you know everything's going all right.
Yeah. Very, very well put. Very well analyzed. I find it interesting the fact that they brought the Jaeger over the Wamai. Of course, not that crazy, not that insane. I think it does just come down to personal preference. But Wamai does tend to be a little bit more popular for this extended hold on the cash side, due to the fact that he has more magnets, therefore can protect more, which of course, considering the fact that Arrow are bringing 2 sets of grenades, that could still be useful. Of course, we don't know how Arrow intend to use them, but still, of course, having the extra protection is good, although it looks like they're prepared for a little bit more than that, and there goes the Jaeger. Did not need the magnets to find a very magnetic opening shot onto Tab, taking down the gridlock. That is going to hurt. That is their flank watch almost entirely eliminated, but also one of those sets of grenades, a shotgun, and a very good weapon, all eliminated very, very early on there for Arrow, who are going to have to try and find a way to continue this round without the gridlock. Not the worst operator to lose, but also a very important operator nevertheless. There goes a refrag finally, or not even finally, very quickly rather, to take down Rooney on the Warden, which of course is going to be a very, very good kill. Or a very good operator to take down, especially this early on.
All right. Got a 4v4 now. Kieran just gonna play close to the breach. Just pushed up aggressively over on Jacuzzi side. That could potentially pay off. If he gets droned out, it could be risky, but I think for the moment, just holding down control of that part of the map. And in the meantime, slow going for Arrow, and as I say that, Watchdog Doge, of course, immediately gets a kill onto Kieran. So it takes him down on that breach. Doesn't work out for him. I thought being posted up aggressively was not going to be expected, but Watchdog, he punishes it accordingly. And so now man advantage back into the favor of Arrow, and coming through with still a lot of time. They have to deal with Bingo, who's still inside of the site. They do so successfully. Benny takes him down. And now, Benny, 3 kills in the game so far. Yona trying to swing onto the breach also gets caught out. 2 players dying to the breach for the side of Lumina, so it's only down to Cannon. Cannon is able to injure one, probably going to finish it with the impact. Yes, he does. And Shishka now going for the plant. But in a 1v3, how much is there that Cannon can do? He has some yellow pings onto the thermite, but I think he has a rough idea of one player on the breach. Finally catches the breach player. Now, Cannon, yes, about 30 seconds left to kill 2 players and start sticking that defuse. He's going to try and swing wide. He connects a few shots onto the thermite, but Volita better than him. And Arrow take another round and take their first round, equalize, and we're up 1-1.
Yeah, we're up 1-1, and the earlier statistic that you said of you want to win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1, already starting to not quite go Lumina's way. They will be trying it back on Gym and Bedroom, but this is already maybe putting a little dent in their plans and maybe shifting the storyline a little bit. Of course, we should mention the fact that Arrow are playing with a sub at the moment, so that also could be impacting their play a little bit, with of course not being full. I mean, you yourself as a player know that playing with a sub, they can be really, really good. They could even be there for every single scrim that you play, but it's just there's something a little bit missing. So Arrow staking it very, very well so far, finding that round, very quick answer to the round that Lumina won in the beginning. And in all honesty, that first round wasn't really, that much of a, what's the word? Like a steamroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, landslide. It was a pretty close round for what it's worth. So Arrow, despite the sub, still doing very, very well. And Lumina, interestingly, have decided to continue with that extended roam into cache side, but I don't know if you saw it there. Instead of putting head holes in the cache construction single wall, they actually reinforced it this time. Of course, that is how one of their players died in the round previous, but still, that's a pretty default setup. I'm surprised that that's what they went for. They decided to just reinforce it off completely and just not even try to risk anything with it.
Yeah, a lot of big roams coming out from the side of Lumina. And you were mentioning the substitute on Arrow. But in the meantime, of course, to be fair, you gotta point out that it's hard to judge how well Lumina are going to mesh with all of the roster changes that they've been making in recent times. They've
true.
just recently gotten rid of... in the past, they've gotten rid of 2 of their players, tried finding replacements, finally got Cannon on board, for instance. And now they've been shuffling around a bunch of players as well. I remember Bingo was on the team, then off the team, back on the team. Same with Rooney. And now both of them coming in as mainstays. Certainly these players know each other because they play together quite frequently, both in comp and outside of comp, it seems. Because it seems to be that is how they make acquaintances. They often substitute for one another. But it's still questionable how this team is going to mesh, because the way the roster is right now is a new formation, and just gotta ask, how well does that mesh against an established team like Arrow, even with a substitute on Arrow side?
Yeah, very, very good point there. Very, very good point. But so far, they've been doing all right. And I feel like Illumina have sort of had that history of just being plagued by, roster changes. They had really big roster changes all the way at the start of Season 2, and then now again Season 3. So they're plagued by sort of frequently having these roster changes that mess them up a little bit, and then they find their footing, and then it kind of falls apart again. But so far so good, I do have to admit. I mean, so they've wasted 2 minutes already. Arrow don't really have too much of a footing anywhere. Bingo is still completely uncontested inside of Gym. Rooney finds another kill onto Benny. That's one more player down on the side of Arrow. And with that time dwindling down more and more by the second, Arrow are looking into more and more dire of a situation. Shishka taking a lot of damage, and there goes the C4 to finish him off. Triple. It's all down to 2 hard reachers to try and win out this round. One of them manages to find a kill, but immediately traded out on the other side, and there goes Cannon to help out the Jaeger, or who was that, the Bandit? I don't know. But to help out anyway, finds that kill. Illumina secure themselves another round. A much more confident hold this time than the round before. And of course, as I mentioned it, they decided to reinforce that construction cache single wall, and it worked out perfectly in their favor because it allowed them to pull back all the way inside of construction and inside of Logi. It forced Arrow to open up that wall and to create this whole new angle, to drone more, to spend more time on the cache side when they didn't really want to. And it still allowed them to hold from behind those Kiba barriers on planks without really even having to move that, to give up that side of the map. They were able to hold on to that extension for a lot longer. So a very, very good adaptation from them, and a very good adaptation in general for them to hold on to that cache side for so long and just waste. I mean, I said it, they've wasted two minutes before Arrow really even started putting their foot in the building, and then they were just able to win it out from that. So very good adaptation. And now going back down to the basement, which, as I said before, wasn't exactly a steamroll, but wasn't also something that Lumina, was making, missteps and mistakes here. So probably should be another round for them. But, Arrow could also change the pace a little bit and find the round here. So it'll be an interesting one to see for sure.
Right, Rooney doing big work in that last round as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not gone unnoticed. And now, I mean, we didn't do it quite in the right order, but we're still up 2-1, so as long as the trend continues, Lumina should still finish up with their 4-2 half, so no mistake here or there. Nobody's really going to end up perfect, but if you still get that 4-2 half, you should be confidently going into the attacking half. So now, Arrow, they got to pick up the pace. They want to get at least like a 3-3 split. That would be very nice for them. Gets them some confidence built up before they head into the defensive half themselves. Of course, starting out on the defense, it's a lot more comfortable, but it means that you're going to end up on attack, and usually that can be a momentum killer if you're not able to carry it through from the defense. So Lumina need to keep pace, and Arrow need to make sure that they're solving the problems from previous round, that they're not losing 2 players early. Even if they do trade, losing some of those players that you want for the execute is not really all that good, and you can see it from Volita, bringing out the Dokkaebi. The Capitao is off the board. Instead, we're bringing a roam clear, and we're really making sure that Lumina is not going to roam anywhere. And we can see that here on the top floor. Wow. There we go. Shishka connects onto Kieran. Benny connects onto Yono as well, and Tav is already pushing down main stairs, and it's only a minute off the clock, so huge control from Arrow, but once again, here comes the punish. Rooney gets one onto Shishka, still on top floor, just getting some refrags again, but watch though, G makes it worse, finally finds that trade onto Rooney, and this time a much better roam clear from Arrow.
Yeah, much better roam clear. Unfortunately, the player that they lost was the Buck, so their vertical play is going to be limited. Not all that much, considering the fact that they still have those soft breaches in the pocket of Tab, but considering the fact that Tab is locked at the bottom of the main stairs and is now dead, that is going to limit that vertical play even more so than before, leaving Benny, Volita, and Watchdog largely to their own devices now to try and make something of this round. Of course, the 3v2, they still have that man advantage. They still have plenty of utility in their pocket. They have their hard breacher in the Maverick, so they're able to get those hatches if they need to, although I'm pretty sure that they have most of that control anyway. They make it a 3v1, as that was Benny pushing in from dirt, manages to find one, and in a very unlucky timing there for Cannon, where he turned around just as he saw him. It was Benny that was able to find the final 2 kills of the round. The round goes Arrow's way, and well, I think it's a very common theme here of us just watching both of these teams adapt very, very well to each other. And finding ways to counter each other after seeing what they originally do. So we saw already before with Lumina losing Gym Bedroom, they were like, okay, this is what went wrong. We're gonna do it a different way, and it worked. And then Arrow, the same way, they lost Basement Attack. They were like, okay, this is where we went wrong. We know they roam. We should get a little bit more aggressive, isolate those players right away, push down main stairs, make sure that they have as little control as possible. That's exactly what they did. Worked out perfectly in their favor, and the round went their way. Now, I'm curious to see what Lumina does to adapt back, because of course they won one, lost one. One was sort of close, the other one was basically a steamroll coming up from Arrow, even though they were able to get those refrags, of course, off the back of the Rooney. But I'm really curious to see how they adapt to what they just saw from Arrow. Because, of course, Arrow now in their minds is like, okay, that worked perfectly. We should do that again. We should run that back. And Lumina are going to have to find a way to make that not work this time around.
Attackers are moving out to locate a
All right.
bomb and
Once again, we've got the Mira being brought out. Super strong operator. Want to play it as much as you can. And of course, with Hibana being out of the game as well, it's difficult to get rid of these mirror windows unless you're maybe playing a Twitch from the other side. So getting rid of it with a head-on approach is going to be very difficult. All you have to work with is maybe Benny Selmas, but they can get impact trick, they can get shot off depending on where the mirror window is positioned. So once again, Lumina going for a bit of a similar setup, but this time more of a first floor roam, not really staying up top too much. And so hoping to bet on the fact that, Tav, he takes a lot of damage droning in that spot. Good info from Rooney. He almost connects onto that. Sadly, doesn't quite find him, so Tav will be able to get healed up by Watchdog, who, of course, still has access to Finka Boost, one used now, as Tav just recovering a bit of HP. He's going to recover more throughout the round, as we're going to see. But I think Lumina hedging their bets here really well, because they're going to say, you know what, Arrow is going to do a full top clear, they're going to send Shishka up here again. We're not even going to contest top floor, but they will drone it anyway. They're going to waste their own time, but in the meantime, Bingo does get caught out anyway. So Benny finds the opening pick. Huge kill over there on Secret, able to take down that player. And this is going to force Rooney down a bit earlier than previously. And so now Rooney also low HP. Has to fall back down, and they will have to play for the hatches.
Yeah, they're going to have to play for the hatches. They're going to have to play this a lot more passively than they originally really wanted to. But, of course, Arrow pushing out Bingo, doing so much damage onto Rooney to the point where him contesting anything is a more of a risk than it is worth. Of course, having to now play it completely differently. No impacts in the pocket of anybody on the side of Lumina to try and impact trick that hatch. The hatch will get opened, and now as we hit that final minute of the round, I do believe that a couple of those Arrow players are rotating around to maybe do a dirt push, I think, but it could also be wrong. Nope. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. There we go. There we go. The Selmas are going off on the dirt side. Watchdog's taking a little bit of damage. I think that's through the hatch or through some of those vert holes on the vert plate. There we go. Moto hatch getting opened up as well. This is looking more and more likely to be one of the old 20-second meta type pushes as Benny finds another one onto Rooney. Jonah contesting very aggressively through these hatches, or through this hatch rather, trying to find a kill. Unfortunately gets caught out all the way from the bottom main. Cannon finally managed to find a refrag, but how much will it be worth? There goes the drop into Moto. Can't quite connect onto that one. 15 seconds to go. Here and Huck here on mini bar can't really do much as the drop on Blue happens as well. He gets isolated and killed. The plant is going down. All out the cannon. He's being surrounded completely. He does manage to find a down there onto Tav, but unfortunately, Watchdog pushes it to Church, finds the finisher, and Arrow, for the first time so far, take the lead here as we head off into the final round of this half. And you were talking about it, Lumina want to end this half at a 4-2 split. It is looking likely, by I don't know what percentage, but it is looking likely that Arrow could instead be taking that very, very sweet, confident 4-2 lead, which if they're going to be heading on into the defensive side of a pretty defensive-sided clubhouse, that is going to hurt Lumina a lot. But it also could be one of those days when the map is just a lot more attacker-sided than it normally is. I mean, it's not like it's 100% defender-sided. You know, it's what, like 55-something%, 60 maybe at most. So, you know, it could just be that it's a little bit more attacker-sided, or it's a little bit more in favor to attackers, at least today, or at least between these two teams. But I think it's needless to say that if Arrow do find themselves with the lead on this half, it's going to give them quite a significant advantage. So Lumina, as they head off into a completely new bomb site so far, are definitely going to be looking for that win and for that even split here.
This is unfortunate. We've got Bingo using illegal skins. They might have to take him out.
Ooh.
Because Arrow do not want to contest that. And I mean, it's within their rights, you know, it's part of the rules. You're not allowed to be running this stuff. So Rooney is just chasing after Bingo, waiting for the setup to finish. So he can just shoot him right in the noggin. No, he's moving
There
around
we
too
go.
much. Kieran steals it.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna
kill
say
steal from
Kieran
Kieran.
stole
It
that.
just-
Wow.
Rooney was running after that for so long, and he doesn't even get it. Unfortunate. But maybe he just doesn't want to take the minus points. Maybe Rooney just wants to be top of the scoreboard at the end of the match.
Yeah, could
Which
be.
doesn't matter because the losing team, you don't see the MVP, but...
Yep, true. But anyway, Arrow seem to be committing to this sort of split side push where they're going to be putting a couple players on the front side, try and get that trying to get that CC breach opened up, which they have done successfully already. So very good use of their time so far. And the other half of the team, of course, is going to be coming the other way. From the bedroom side and from construction side to try and pinch these players as best as they can, which of course at a 5v4 man advantage is going to be a little bit easier. That mirror window is going to be causing some trouble, but that the Arrow cannot contest against, especially considering... Oh, no, they do have my... I almost wanted to say that they didn't have anything to protect against those projectiles, but they do. And those projectiles are going to hurt less and less when they don't exist anymore now as Benny gets taken down. Rooney finds another one of the watch doge as well. That's going to eliminate them finding the breaches onto those mirror windows, meaning that the mirror windows will likely stay intact unless they can manage to find their way up red somehow. Cav manages to find another refrag there onto Rooney, taking out quite a useful player so far on the side of Lumina. And back to a 3v3 we go. Minute to go. That time went by quickly here for Arrow as they're still trying to find their footing. The diffuser currently not in their possession. There we go. They've recovered it. And with a very long angle cannon can pretty much hold them off the entire time.
Oh, all right. Beautiful use of utility there. Like, very good timing on that fire, and immediately they C4 to punish on the breach. And there we go. Kieran, inside of the smoke, is able to find the planter, so it's only down to Shishka. Shishka is able to find one, but Yono with the hop out is able to find the last kill as well. So Lumina, with a bit of shakes here and there, and of course with Bingo just being taken out early due to unfortunate circumstances, Lumina is still able to close out a 3-3 half. This isn't the first time we've seen a team kill and then the team winning anyway. It happened yesterday on Chalet.
Yeah.
Anybody that was watching yesterday will remember. We had one team kill coming out and then immediately a triple kill with a C4. What a round that was. So just negating the team kill and making up for it with just 3 immediate kills onto just, 3 players repelling on Solar side. What else would you be doing in competitive?
Yeah, true.
Just a lot of chaos yesterday.
Yeah.
Today, more of the same. Bit of chaos in the chat going on. I think so far pretty decent sportsmanship. I like that they're keeping it calm. And Lumina don't even need it. Who needs Bingo? You can win without him.
Wow, that's better. Not have Bingo watch this broadcast back. I think
He's
that
2
might
and
be
5. He knows what he's doing.
Wow. Okay. I'll be sure to remember that for whenever 5 Stars is playing him next.
Please flame Selberg when he does badly.
Oh, don't worry. That I will. I have everything written down for everything that I want to say about Selberg the next time I cast him.
Is it because he took your caster spot yesterday?
No. Actually, I was very glad that he took that spot because I wasn't able to cast. So I was glad that you didn't have to solo. Oh, no! You do it! No!
Oh,
okay,
no,
so Benny is throwing. Benny, actually, funnily enough, is Revival League's analyst, so I guess he's trying to bump up some sort of statistic up there.
I think we had a total of 4 team kills yesterday, so we're already on pace to try and beat that. I mean, Shishka does stay alive. He does survive. It's not another figure for the statistic, but damn near close to. As Watchdog just trying to take the opening fight straight into the players, going up to rafters. He nearly gets himself caught. Is able to get away. Just running through some active angles being held. Cannon trying to get some pre-fires. Doesn't connect onto the player. Does, however, open an angle into Lounge. And in the meantime, Rooney has taken position of top red. I think that was, from outside breach. He has dropped the diffuser just to keep it safe outside. Now he's going to take it back, probably rotate around, put a drone up here, make sure that everything's clear. Lumina making sure, better be safe than sorry, wasting a bit more time on the top floor to make sure that Arrow really is gone. But we can see, of course, from our perspective, Arrow already retreated entirely into the basement. They've given up this top floor because Shishka took a lot of damage from his teammate, and Watch Doge barely got away with his life. So just choosing to fall back earlier rather than later.
Yeah. Definitely a good idea for them right now. And of course, this is the type of thing that will only work in your first round of defense, where the enemies just don't know how you play. You can get away with not roaming at all, them wasting 2 minutes trying to drone you out, and then realizing, oh wait, they never drone in the first place. I don't think that he can. I think that
Cannon can see him. Yeah, you can see him there.
I didn't think that he could. I thought that was just us being able to see it because of the outlines, but I thought that he was maybe blending in with the wall. But no, he managed to find that kill.
Yeah, it was only one color. He could see Mira. Like, Mira was in the crosshair, but because she wasn't moving, it didn't look like it was a player.
Yeah.
But of course, a good punishment on the refrag there. Just a wide swing coming through and immediately punishing Cannon after he gets that pick. Still able to keep it close for the side of Arrow, and now, of course, Impact tricking the hatch, gonna try and keep Kitchen hatch closed, and it looks like that might be successful, as with 40 seconds left, Lumina might have to adapt and go for a bit of a different take. We'll have to try and attack more toward Church. It's very difficult to deal with the setup, and there's a player posted up aggressively deep inside of Arsenal. He might be able to connect onto Kieran, but no, Kieran punishes him with a wall bang. He just sees the feet at the right time, just gets it, and now with man advantage, still have to deal with that mirror window, still have to deal with multiple angles as Watch Doge once again equalizes. Bingo already dropped into Moto, gets tagged up from deep inside of blue. Has to worry about this other mirror window as well. Very good setup from the defenders, and with only 8 seconds left, they gotta push in. Benny, he gets one, he gets a second for himself as well. 3 in the round for him. It's only down to Bingo. He's able to get one, but with no time left on the board, and he has to switch to the pistol. Nothing he can do. And Arrow take their first defensive round, and they go up 4-3, taking the lead.
Yeah, that was kind of chaotic there at the end. I referenced it earlier, the good old 20-second meta from a couple of years ago, where you really didn't have a choice but to do that. You would spend 2.5 minutes doing all of the setup, and then final 20 seconds, it's, all hands on deck, everybody drops, everybody has their gun up, going for the plant. That's kind of what this was, although I don't think that it was that intentional. I think it was pretty much what I described earlier of this is the type of thing that you can really only get away with on your first offensive round, where the enemy team just doesn't know how you play. So they will spend 2 minutes droning everything out, realize that you were never roaming in the first place. Then they'll scramble a little bit to try and get those hatches. Then come the impact tricks. Then, the mental start to work a little bit more in your favor, because they're like, oh, guys, we need to go, we need to push, we need to do this, we need to do that. And then all of a sudden, the round is just gone from their hands. So very good there from Arrow to have that roam presence, pull it back after they realize that, hey, this is not worth it. We're already low HP. Let's just go back to the site. And then holding those angles, those mirror setups, you said it yourself. Very, very good placements from the defenders. Pretty much completely impenetrable from the side of Lumina. I really don't blame them for not being able to do much that round. It was very, very good setup there from Arrow. And now, setting themselves up all the way upstairs inside a gym bedroom, we'll see whether or not Lumina are able to equalize again, or if Arrow are going to take a 2-round overlead. Or actually the first time so far, I think that would be.
Arrow have taken the lead up 3-2 before Lumina were able to equalize, so this is quick correction second time, but I think for the most part, it's been a back and forth. There's not really any decisive leads so far. I mean, the only leads we've seen have been a 1-round advantage. That is gone immediately. As soon as the next round is done, you immediately lose that, and Rooney gets the opening take onto Valida. And I quickly want to touch up on, and in that previous round, maybe Lumina could have made that work. They still had Semper, Maybe we need Semper.Lumina to come back.
Maybe we do. But there we go. Wow, another one connects as Benny goes down to Cannon. Good refrag there coming up from Shishka to take down Rooney, a very important player so far for side of Lumina. Unfortunately, the hard breach properties of his operator have already been utilized, so it's not really going to be hurting them that much. It's just another gun that's down. Wazzo's taking quite a lot of damage there on that Logi side.
Oh, gee.
There goes a run up from Shishka, finding the kill, taking a lot of damage, but never mind. He takes his one. equalize the man count yet again. But now the only issue is the fact that Arrow has 2 players that are on limited HP, and Lumina not only have all of their players at full HP, but they still have 2 of those Finka boosts to boost themselves up even more should they need to, as we hit the second half of the round officially and are just awaiting for the push from the side of Lumina. There goes another quite good swing there from Tav. Doesn't quite connect, and he is able to retrieve quite safely as well. Shishka fighting another one to Kieran. Jono still pushing in from this cash side. Getting very, very aggressive here. He has Tav blocked in a corner, and he manages to find the down there. I think he knows that he is down, or he might. Yeah, he does. There we go.
There's a refrag coming through. No, instead it's Yono that finds the double kill there. All right, Watch Doge. He gets punished a bit too late on that swing, trying to play for the bait on his teammate. That leaves only Shishka. He's able to find 3 kills in this round so far. The jump out cost him a lot of his HP though, and now he's going to get droned out. Does get droned by that Gemini, and he needs to get an ace clutch here if he wants to win this round for his team. And Cannon already moving in. He thinks the player's in the other corner, and there we go. Here comes the cross, but Cannon punishes it as both of them were sprinting initially. And Lumina taking another round, going straight back to 4-4, and we continue to equalize. No big leads yet.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate there. But Shishka was in quite a tight position there, regardless of whether he was able to get that kill. Just due to the fact that he was such low HP. I mean, it was pretty much a race against time of whether or not he was gonna die. So, props to him for trying, but that was a lost game, pretty much considering the fact how low on HP he was, all the way from that jump out that he had. But now, going to CCTV and cash room, of course, we saw this bomb site played out once already. It was Lumina's final defensive round. They attempted it, and they succeeded at it, despite having to TK one of their players due to illegal skins. So they were able to win it quite confidently. They had a lot of their crosses set up. They were able to eliminate the frag potential, or the frag grenades rather, from the side of Arrow. They were able to hold on to those mirror windows from a far away angle. C4s hit where they needed to, shooting through the smoke, hit where it needed to. That is very interesting. So because of the way that Fenrir gadget is placed, you can't actually shoot it till you're all the way at the top of Red Stairs. So you could be, at the bottom of Red Stairs trying to look up to shoot it, and you can't because you can't actually see the flower. So very, very cheeky placement there from Watch Doge to find that placement. But like I was saying. Oh, was it? Well, I wouldn't try to pick it up. That is perfect, because now they can't shoot it from below. They can only shoot it if they're at the top of the Red Stairs.
I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe it was somewhat intentional, and then I saw Watch Doge trying to get up there on that vault spot inside a cache after destroying the cache stack that you need to stand on in order to get into that position. No, just the setup. Struggling a little with that BP. They're going to put it somewhere else. It's probably going to be fine, but main breach, I think, already open. There is a bandit in play, but not really doing much with that. Shishka able to find the opening pick onto Bingo, but Watch Doge getting traded in the process. It was a wall bang, so Cannon will have to try and find it. Tries to use a grenade to finish that off, but Watch Doge, he's crawling for his life. Not far enough. Cannon does take him down with that uncooked nade, just throwing it right after him. And Yono, in the meantime, already on bottom garage, has to be careful that he doesn't get picked off by a player here. Tav already suspecting that there might be a player somewhere around there. Yono, of course, trying to set up and see if he can use those firebolts as Cannon takes another fight with a player inside of bar. They're just unrelenting. Arrow is not leaving off of this position. They want to get Cannon out of there. They don't want to give him the time and the resources to nade onto vertical here inside of the site. So just making sure that he's busy, making sure that he's being contested. Of course, Shishka wasting a lot of time right now. Lumina will have to try and get some information on the player. They have a rough idea, but they don't really know, as Rooney is able to find a pick onto Valita. And that's shaping up well for Lumina. Still a lot of time left, and Rooney finds Benny as well. Very good. But now Yono gets caught out. There we go. Tav He's been suspecting it for a while, and now he finally picks up that kill into Yono. Now, Tav getting traded, though, in the process, overextending, getting caught by Kieran. Plant is coming down from Rooney. Shishka's trying to run up and back down. He was worried about that nade, gets taken down as well. And Lumina, they take the lead once again, and we just continue going back and forth with the leads.
Yeah, I didn't even know who had that round. Like, I didn't know who was going to take the lead. I didn't know whether that was the equalizer or whether it was somebody taking the lead, because it has been so back and forth. It is really hard to keep track, especially considering how sleep deprived I am. But yeah, you were correct. It is Lumina taking the lead, and as we hit into round 10, I do believe that this... No, it doesn't yet. No, it has to be 5-5. Yes, it has to be 5-5 for it to mean that we're going to be seeing all 12 rounds of regulation, but I honestly don't think that we even need to see it be 5-5. I think that we're more than likely going to be seeing all 12 rounds of regulation regardless. Potentially maybe even beyond that, just considering how close this has been, and I don't see how this just suddenly becomes, not close. I guess it could if one team really bites down. And, the other team maybe starts making mistakes, maybe a rush, like a Ying rush type situation, maybe. But, realistically, I think we're gonna be here for the long haul, which is, always good to see, especially in these finals. The further on that you get into them, the more of these games that you want to see, where it just kind of drags on forever. Unless, it's the grand finals and one of the teams, should have had a 3-0, but then they, continued to throw for like 3 rounds straight. But, it's not like I'm holding that against you or anything.
Don't worry, I haven't been listening.
Fuck you.
I've just been thinking about the way you pronounced Ying, Retro, just trying to speak it into existence in the prep phase, and there we go. Bingo gets the opening pick onto Tav, just trying to go for an aggressive swing. Doesn't work out for him. Bingo bringing it back, finding some impact for the team as well. I think Lumina across the board doing pretty okay so far. There's not anybody that's lagging behind hugely, but you do have to say that Cannon and Rooney have really been carrying most of the weight. Rooney especially with some of these impact frags, and Cannon's just consistently able to put up numbers. That's the one thing about Lumina. I think that's been a very good addition in all of the roster shuffles that they've made. Cannon's been able to just, I think, find a better role than in previous teams. He's been able to find more consistency here, and Yono able to find another one to watch Doge, catching out these roamers. This is looking good for the roam clear from Lumina, and there's no response from Arrow. We might just see match point very, very soon, and Lumina might run away with this after all, despite it being so close up until now.
Yeah, they just might, but also do keep in mind the Arrows so far have been very good at finding the refrags, even when they're down 3-5. I mean, we've seen this time and time and time again, so definitely don't write them off just yet. And considering the fact that 90 seconds have already gone from the side of Lumina, not all is lost yet for Arrow. They do have the site control still. They still have a C4 in pocket. They still have 2 of those impact grenades. They have some vertical advantage there, as Shishka manages to find quite a lot of damage onto Rooney. Not enough to take him down, however, but nevertheless, finding a lot of damage, that's going to make it all that much easier for them to engage later on. So, like I was saying, do not write this round off just yet. Arrow could still find their footing in this one.
Oh, does he get that? No, he doesn't. Oh, Shishka missing with the impact trick, just getting caught at a bad time when he was looking for a drone. That's going to allow them to open up kitchen hatch. Kieran going for a drop as well. Finds Voldita in the corner. Finally a trade from Benny, but he takes so much damage over from secret side. He tries to go for a swing, gets caught by Cannon. Now Shishka is able to find one onto Rooney, but he's in a 1v3. He has to find 3 more. He's able to find at least one. He's able to find Cannon, but with 30 seconds left, has to try and find that player on short. Now running back up the stairs. And, he does have the diffuser. He will have to go for a kitchen hatch drop as Bingo's inside of dirt. So, his timer ticking lower. Yono quickly getting a drone out into position to give some just info for his dead teammates. You can see both of them actually on drones, just making sure that at least the close spots are clear. And they know when Shishka is approaching. 10 seconds. Bingo will have to cover here. Shishka trying to come up close. Falls off of it. Impacts himself. And Yono's the one that finally gets the kill. On just about Lumina, a little scary here with Shishka in the 1v4, almost getting that, but instead we have match point opportunity for Lumina in round 11.
Yeah, very unlucky there from Shishka. That's two impact grenades that he threw out and unfortunately missed. First one was the one onto the hatch. The hatch impact trick. Unfortunately missed that, hit the beams, and then there at the end, a little bit of panic, a little bit of fat finger, and he hits the wall instead of the planter. Of course, considering the fact that it was the sledge at full HP, wouldn't have really mattered much even if he'd hit it, but it really goes to show the nerves really starting to get to some of these players and really starting to panic a little bit, which is why I do believe that this timeout was very, very well timed. Where, now they've gotten to match point. Now they need to reel it back in, of course, especially with those nerves starting to show a little bit. So, get themselves back into the correct headspace. Just be like, hey guys, we can still get this. It's only 2 rounds. We can take this into OT. It's not that big of a deal. Just reel themselves in mentally. I don't think that there's really going to be much talk of it's like, you did this wrong, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. I think that particular timeout was there just to reel themselves in mentally and get themselves back on the right page, just so that they're not, running away wildly with, oh no, they're on match point. Oh no, we can't lose. You got to treat it 1 round at a time. And hopefully they're going to be doing just that. Back down into Church Arsenal they go. Hopefully this time their roam won't get absolutely obliterated right away, which so far, every single time that they've defended Church and Arsenal, that is exactly what happened. I said it, you could really get away with it on the first round where you waste a lot of time, and that's exactly what happened on their first defensive round. But then right after that, once your enemies start to learn how you play, how you breathe, you really cannot get away with it just as well, and we saw that displayed as well, where Arrow got obliterated on the roam, and Lumina were able to take that advantage very, very early on and just run with it.
Yeah, right. I'm really loving the timeout here. I wish 5 stars could do something like that. They never take timeouts.
Yeah, no, you don't. You just wait until you've thrown 3 maps in a row to take a timeout.
Yeah, sometimes, I think to myself, if only we had more time to talk through this 1 round, if only there was some sort of ability that we had to just, give us a few more seconds to talk about a round so that we can adapt properly. And I think that is the main thing that's going to come through in comp. You're not going to have like a mental coach, right? It might be for some momentum slowing. It's like, okay, guys, they won 2 in a row, they won 3 in a row, let's... Lumina has won 3 in a row now, so Arrow is just like, okay, let's break the momentum, let's calm them down, let's make sure that they're not too excited and super confident. Let's make sure that we're actually like kind of annoying them with the timeout. I think that's the main goal. And then other than that, it's just about small adaptations. So what you want to do is just, okay, we go back to basement. What went wrong? The roam fell apart. What do we do about that? And then it's like, do we adapt an operator? Do you play in a different position? Do you just play close together? Where did they push from last time? And you can see Tav, I think this is the adaptation. He's hiding. But there's a player caught unaware. Yono walks right past him and just gets Benny, who's completely unaware of Yono. Now Tav finally here for the trade. He was in a good position, but he did let Yono sneak past. Now he has to be careful. In a 4v4, we've got kind of a standoff, but he does get flashed. He will have to run away. Question is he able to stay alive with these flashbangs coming in? He's all but dead. This is going to be difficult for him. No, Yono's just flashing him out hard, and there we go. Good roam clear from Lumina once again. Yono sneaking past that and then able to punish the second player that was stacked up with him as well. And Arrow once again getting punished harshly on that roam.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate there. I thought that was a really, really good setup there from Tav. But Benny being on drones at the bottom of those stairs with like 0 cover pretty much. Very, very unlucky there. Watch Doge is able to equalize yet again as he finds a C4 kill onto Kieran. A very important, very good kill onto Buck, but unfortunately the hatches are already open, and they still have plenty of vert utility left to play with, so it's not really going to hurt them that much, but it is a gun down, so it's definitely useful, and unfortunately... There goes a bit of an overextension there from one of the players. He gets taken down, as does Valida, and now it's all down to Watch Doge, all the way in the side, all the way in the back of Blue. 1v3, trying to hold his team together here for this first map. Manages to find 1 of 3. 35 seconds to go. That's the diffuser being dropped as well. They pick it up. There goes the push into the back of Arsenal. Cannon is going to be going for that plant. Walks straight into Ghoul Mine. Can't quite go for it yet, but there goes the plant. Cams are out there. They know that's what's happening. He gets one. Oh, but unfortunately he swings a little bit too far out and Cannon finds that final kill. So close, but so far. And Lumina will take the first map.
All right.
Wow. They will take the first map of potentially 3. I don't know how the map bans went, so I don't know what map it will be next, but we will be taking a short break, and then we'll see you with map 2, where Arrow will be trying to take the win and try to take us all the way into map 3 if they want to keep themselves alive in this competition still. Because if not, it's Lumina to take the win instead in a 2-0 fashion. But yeah, we'll be taking a short break, and we'll be back in a little bit.
that stopped me from dreaming. Didn't get far, but I'm still hanging on to the feeling. For a moment I was special, but I should have known better than to fall in love. I've still got questions, but I've learned my lesson. Love, is that enough? Oh, is that enough?
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're back onto map 2, Border. Got the next map cooking up. Lumina, after a bit of a shaky defensive half, going into the arguably less favored side and just rolling over Arrow with 4 rounds in a row, just closing the match out comfortably on Clubhouse, winning out 7-4. And so now we've got Arrow on the back foot, down 0-1, going into map 2 on Border. Gotta make sure that they can equalize here, and especially because it's their opponent's map pick. If we do end up going to a decider, very quickly, just going to point out, we will go to Cafe, but first we'd have to get there. So if you want to see Cafe, start cheering for Arrow now.
Yeah, definitely start cheering for Arrow now as we...
Oh, the Blackbeard ban.
Okay.
All right.
So I was going to say, Ying ban, completely reasonable, actually. She is pretty strong, especially on Border. You know, she makes a lot of these bomb sites pretty difficult to defend. You know, if you're playing Bathroom Tellers, if you're playing Workshop Vents, if you're playing Upstairs, Arsenal, and Armory, and Archives, completely reasonable ban. Then they hit me with the Blackbeard, which I don't even know how to describe. I mean, this isn't like year 2 anymore, where Blackbeard ban, like, would have made complete sense, even though I don't think bans were a thing yet back then, but... yeah, no, it would have made complete sense because of how absolutely broken Blackbeard was back then without like a 90,000 HP shield. Nowadays, not really so worth it. But you know, I guess they really just don't want to play against Blackbeard, or maybe somebody's a Blackbeard main, maybe it's a Border specific thing. I really couldn't tell you. Mira and Solus to follow make complete sense. I mean, both very, very strong operators, especially for this map. Makes complete sense for them to just want to get rid of them and not play against it. That Blackbeard will confuse me for the entire rest of this map. I'm just not even going to lie to you. I'm going to be staring at that completely confused. But nevertheless, Bathroom Tellers is where they go to first, which is a little bit unusual, considering the fact that it doesn't tend to be the first site that they go that teams tend to go to. Although, in my personal and not professional, but my personal opinion, I do think the Bathroom Tellers is the best site on the map. But there are some disagreements about that. I think a lot of people still prefer Armory and Archives, even though it is dog shit. But, you know, preferences, I guess, and depending on how you set it up, it can still be a good one.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I can have my opinion, and you can be wrong.
Wow. Okay.
Can certainly do it. I'm loving the banter, by the way, between these two teams. A lot of T4 banter is very dry. I think between Lumina and Arrows, actually, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen much worse. I think this is quite funny.
I agree. Plus, it's always good to see, you know, them kind of having like a healthy back and forth rather than it being like, oh, we're just here to get it over with, or, you know, we hate each other from past experiences and so we're just going to be extremely toxic to each other. This sort of healthy, you know, back and forth of exactly what we said, banter, couldn't have described it better. Very, very cool to see. It makes me feel like this is a much higher tier league.
Almost makes you feel like Lumina are still human.
Wow, okay. See, this is exactly the type of toxicity that I was talking about that I don't like seeing.
Exactly. they haven't been the same since they lost Zamper. I really miss him.
That's me too. I love Zemper. Zemper was really good. I loved the fact that he got picked up by Lumina after Oblivion XC got dissolved. It was a very, very good pickup, and it was a very good opportunity for him. Definitely missing seeing him. Not gonna lie. But
you gotta move on to something. Lumina is always going to bounce back with something. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. I think arguably right now with Cannon and Rooney, too bad in terms of at least you know, just pure gun skill. Able to at least bring enough firepower to take it to teams like Arrow. So for the moment, we've got a ram, actually. That's quite interesting. Seeing a ram here on Border makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of vertical play that you can do between these two floors. Watch Doge very, very close to fighting Bingo. Bingo starts sprinting just at the wrong time. Watch Doge takes him down. All right, early pick in the favor of Arrow. Getting taken down. We've also had a substitution, by the way, if I remember correctly. Yes. Got, how do you pronounce that? Oh, God.
Nate?
Help. Nate? Are
Yeah,
we going with the... Yeah, okay. We'll go with the Navi player pronunciation.
Okay,
All right.
Lumina
what in
getting-
the world is happening?
Yeah, Lumina getting obliterated for the most part. They finally managed to get the refrag there onto Watch Doge, but not before so much damage has been done from, I don't even know. Watch Doge and Tav, I guess, is where it was done. Oh, wow, there goes a run-out attempt again from Tav. Doesn't quite work out this time. Kieran shuts that right down, and now it's all down to Kieran and Rooney in a 2 versus 3 to try and make something happen of this round. Still have those can openers in the back pocket of Kieran, so they're able to open up the hatch, give themselves a little bit more maneuverability. Having that Monty in play is both a blessing and a curse at this point. Of course, a blessing because they are able to push up like this, gain information without really losing a player, without losing time droning. But it, of course, does mean that Rooney is limited to just a pistol that, of course, is going to be difficult to try and contest anybody with. Although sufficiently distracting Velita here is the Monty of Rooney, giving Kieran ample time to go from behind and try and get that kill. Anyway, there goes a C4, connects, but Kieran from behind manages to find that refrag right away. 1v2, not a completely impossible situation here for Kieran, but it is going to be difficult with only 30 seconds on the clock and them having so much more information than he does at this time. 20
We'll have to
seconds
get an
to
ace
go.
clutch if he wants
Also
to do
true.
this. Oh, no.
Oh,
Benny takes him down instead, so Arrow get the first round off the back of a very good start with Watch Doge, just wasting a lot of time getting 2 kills upstairs. They are able to convert that into the late round. Kieran almost trying to pull it together for his team, 3 kills in the round, but ultimately not enough, and so Arrow go up 1-0, a much better start for them as opposed to last map already getting a round on the board. And of course, starting on the defensive side, they want to put up big numbers now. Lumina has done pretty well on attack on Clubhouse. The question is, does that translate into border? Because at the moment, maybe just some first round shakes. I think maybe the Monty play not really working out for them. I think if Rooney's going to stick this Monty again, they either need to do something drastically different or he just has to get off the Monty at some point. Because at the moment, it's not looking like it works for Lumina.
yeah, I'd have to agree with you, but I think what they're banking on is the fact that, you know, it's a different bomb site, it's a different way that they're going to play it. Maybe, you know, the Monty's going to work a little bit better if they try to do the cheeky Archives push to, you know, get the plant down inside of Archives. So I think that they're thinking that it could still work, but it is definitely going to be difficult, especially, you know, against the Fenrir, against 2 C4s. They don't have the Yang, who is crucial for that particular attack, and of course we don't know yet where the attack is really going to be coming from, whether it will be that Archives push or whether they're going to go for the good old Armory plant instead. But yeah, we're definitely going to have to wait and see. I think if after this round the Monty doesn't work out, I'd have to agree with you for sure. Just step off it, play something else, play something that is, you know, gonna give you an actual gun in a gunfight. But I think should it work, it's probably going to give them a lot of confidence to continue sticking with it, which may work out in the future and may not. And I think it will be a split push. The Monty coming in from east, which I didn't even anticipate, but already stepping foot into the building to try and contest against well, nothing, because there's really not too much pushback here on East itself. It's mostly from inside of the office room where the players are situated.
Right, certainly going for an office take here. First minute off the board, Rooney up in an aggressive position, also ADSing to try and get some shots through. Just peppering away over in the distance. Has to be careful about Watch Doge. Does connect onto him, but there's a little shot that lands directly into his arm, takes a lot of damage. Watch Doge also getting tagged on the back from his teammate, but now Bingo, first casualty. And this Monty has to be careful. Gotten tagged in the hand a few times. Cannot afford another one of those slugs connecting, and there we go, it does. Watch Doge gets the kill onto that Monty, and once again the Monty not really working out for them. Trying to get some aggressive control over on Office, but instead it's punished. Now, Watch Doge can safely pull himself back and just decide to disengage from this fight as Yono trying to find a player will get caught up by a Fenrir gadget. Can't see the Jaeger because of it, and the Jaeger has turned around in the meantime. Nate able to get that pick. And now suddenly it's only down to Cannon. Immediately, all of Lumina falls. And so, with Cannon in a 1v4 makes it a 1v3. You will have to find the remaining players. Does have a decent gun to work with and quite a bit of time, 1 minute and 10. Watch Doge is low as well, this is certainly doable. But as long as Arrow entrench themselves properly, they should be able to play for refrag. There shouldn't be an in for Cannon, especially without the diffuser on hand.
Yeah, that's I really don't know what to say. This is gonna be a tough one for sure. 45 seconds to go. Still has 2 drones. I think both of them are in his pocket as well.
Oh,
There
what
goes
a
a beautiful swing, beautiful shot. That makes 2 very beautiful shots coming out from Cannon to find 2 kills in what started as a 1v4. 30 seconds to go. Diffuser still in no man's land. And Nate will find that kill. Arrow take another round, and unfortunately Cannon just was not able to do much against that. Lumina requesting a pause, a technical pause due to an FPS bug coming out from Cannon. Not really sure what that would be, but yeah, unfortunate if that's what they were battling with, if they were also having to battle with some tech issues. There we go. Both teams are going to be taking this as an opportunity to take a little bit of a tech pause due to whatever issues they may be having. And I think right now, very good time for Rooney to step off that Monty, because it really did not work out, and it really didn't look like Rooney had an idea of how to play the Monty there in the first place. A lot of the times you'll see the Monty be very confident as a player, and you'll see a lot of strategies with Monty where the team will be, completely focused, centered around that Monty. It's like, okay, the Monty pushes, we have all of these angles covered. As the Monty pushes, we're going to be getting these kills, and we're going to be clearing these spaces. But instead, it was just Rooney sort of pushing in through the breach. No drones, no intel, nothing, coming in, getting shot, being scared, and then just kept edging himself through that wall without ever really gaining information about where anybody really was. Got himself punished quite quickly there, getting taken down by the tug of the Cade. So definitely wouldn't recommend going back to the Monty. And if you do, just play it better. Just plain play it better. Like, drone more, have a little bit more confidence. Maybe don't lower the shield as often, considering how vulnerable you are. Maybe have a little bit more team play coming out there. I don't know. It was a very poor Monty play there, where I know that they're capable of doing more. We've seen them do more with Monty, so I don't know. Maybe either drop it or just play and be better.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, slugs to the hand, that's gotta hurt. And in the meantime, while we're just still having the tech break, I want to give a quick shout out to Semper's Spotify rap this year. Boy's top artist is Drake. Listening to that music, doing good over there. He's using the better opportunities. Lumina for him, just a jumping board, initial launch stage. He's gonna go places, especially listening to just the most basic ass music in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Also, I love the fact that we have Lumina versus Arrow. Zemper has not been on the squad, and yet we've mentioned Zemper more than we've mentioned anybody else who's actually in the lobby.
Yeah.
Like, we've actually not even just Zemper. We've talked about Selberg and Zemper more than anybody in this lobby.
It's the goons.
Yeah, true.
Squad is important to mention. You gotta keep your friends close and your enemies closer, as they say.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm so close to Selberg.
Yeah, he doesn't know you.
No, he doesn't. It's really sad. The only
did, though.
Yeah, the only thing that we have against each other is Smelberg and Letro. That's really the extent of it. Which, honestly, I prefer that. In the words of fucking, what's his name? Oh Lord, Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation.
Ah, yes.
I once knew a guy, and for 5 years, never spoke to him once. Best friend I ever had. That's the exact relationship there between me and Selberg.
Type of wordless relationship you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Sometimes you just need a friend like that. Words are too much. People are too much.
Yeah, but for real, how is your top artist Drake? I'm
mean,
sorry, I keep writing that point home, but like,
I mean, if I start to judge, I really have zero ground there, because my top artist is Taylor Swift, which I feel like there's probably one person that is more basic to have as your top artist than Drake, and it's Taylor Swift. So, I really have zero ground to stand stand on.
No,
when it
nobody
comes
can
to,
attack me. My music
rap.
style is incoherent.
Fair enough.
If you don't know
enough.
what you're listening to, then nobody else would know.
That's
How
true.
can you get attacked on those grounds if you don't even know what you're listening to yourself?
My friend had his top genre was Alt Z, which I didn't know what the hell that was. I was like, what
What in the world is that?
god is that? We Googled it. Apparently, it's music that's sad and not sad at the same time, which
What a very insightful description. That
I
really tells
know,
me a lot
right?
about the about the genre.
yeah. So that's apparently what that is. Which,
Yeah, in the
you know,
meantime, yeah.
all you need,
just
really.
Speaking of just weird genres, shout out to a friend of mine, William. Favorite genre, up-tempo, hardstyle. Just noise.
Nice.
If you ever wanted to
Nice.
listen to noise, just essentially the speakers bugging out and just playing max volume, that's up-tempo hardstyle for you.
Just get on YouTube, type in fucking drills, 10 hours, ASMR, and you basically get that.
Yes. Machine gun fire is more pleasant to listen to than up-tempo hardstyle. I gotta respect it because I love my man even if he has the wrong choices,
Yeah, true.
Same with Semper.
Once again. Might as well just
I want Semper to be the most mentioned name at the end of the stream, despite him not even being like he was on the stream
already
at some point.
is.
Yeah,
He
but
already
he's the
is.
most mentioned guy. He's not even here.
It's so funny. I would love to know if he is watching this stream right now, and it's just like, why are these guys just obsessed with me? Why are they just constantly mentioning me? I'm not even playing, dude. I haven't even
you
touched
should be.
Siege in
That's the
week.
point. You should be.
That's true. Every player should be Zemper.
Yeah. Swap Rooney out. Get Semper on the Monty.
Nah. Get Zemper on wait, was that Zemper? Back in the day, back in OXC days? I think it was Zemper playing fucking I'll never forget that. On Clubhouse Basement Defense. I think it was Zemper always going into Jim. Jim Oryx, he would like, if not ace, get like a 3 or 4K like every single round, every single game. And they would just like never drone him. Like, I don't understand how he was pulling that off every single fucking time. That was all the way back in season 2 quals. It was like, so OXC and 5 stars had the most perfect run out of anybody there.
Yeah.
Well, 5 stars had like the most perfect
season
run,
2
but
quals
like
was so top heavy. Yeah, I understand why he's allowed to do that. It's because he's just playing against bad opponents. How else would you be allowed to do something like that?
But it was
you
just
gotta hit your shots, but if it's just a TDM, then you're gonna win it with the most stupid approach.
Yeah,
And
that's basically what it was.
I know that Semper and the Gooners they have the most stupid strats ever, so
yeah,
clearly they will come out on top when it comes to that.
I was just shocked how often that worked. It would be worse when it worked like twice in the same game. It's like, you saw this man do this exact same thing. He just aced from Jim as Oryx. Please drone him next time. They just don't. They're like, oh, he's not in Jim. Okay, well, let's just rush. He's a construction. Like, bro, like, please move the drone a little bit further. But never mind. We're back again here with this border game. Arrow are up 2-0. And they are ready to defend one more round. They're ready to completely tear Lumina a new one.
Attackers need to locate
As they go down to vents and ventilations. Apparently, is what this bomb set is called. Did you know that? No, I meant vents and workshop.
Workshop, yeah, server, whatever. It's the second room is really big. It has like 4 callouts.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, he's over there. Over there. You saw him. That's pretty much what my my stat calls this room. On there. On there.
Right
Dude.
there. Red
Right
box.
there. He's over there.
10 seconds
Here.
to go.
Oh man, I love the echo hiding spots on this. I don't know if you remember, but at some point, like, it got kind of popular that you would break some of those PCs there, where the desk is right underneath the hatch, and you could just hide in this corner, just play echo drones. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Until people kind of caught on to it, because it's difficult to get in there. It's also difficult to get out of there. You're really like tucked in, but at the same time, the moment they find out you're there, you are boned.
Yep. I feel like that's the type of thing that like it would work now, just because it's been such a long time since anybody did it. Similar to laying in the little shelves in CCTV on Clubhouse, like that also got popular for a while, then everybody stopped doing it. I feel like if you did it now, it'd probably work, just because no one like expects you to do like a 3-year-old strat.
Depends on just the drone work that comes in from
True.
teams. And Rooney, all right, already getting the opening pick. Volita with the trade onto Bingo as well. And already we've got some casualties right after the rehost going back in aggressively, not wasting any time. Rooney, he takes down some ADSs as well. That's good utility clearance, already getting top floor control, using those RAM gadgets as well. Just already sending out those just drones. Big drones, very, very big drones. Biggest drones we've gotten in the game so far. And in the meantime, Cannon does get injured. Won't be able to get picked up by the Finka boost because Finka is dead. And in the meantime, Yono's able to find that pick onto Benny. Just trying to play that vault up spot. Doesn't work out for him. Tav finally connects the C4 onto the already injured Cannon. Rooney is able to find a pick onto Tav back as well. Rooney with a triple kill in the round. And with half the round still to go, it's only down to Volita. He was able to find one pick, but now has to try and find the rest. Turns away at the wrong time, and Yono's going to be able to shoot him in the back. And Lumina, they take their first round after this technical rehost.
Yeah, maybe that was intentional. Maybe that's exactly what they were going for. Of course, a long enough pause.
Fixing accusations from an official caster? All right.
No, it wasn't match fixing. I was just saying that, like, okay, they had a long time to discuss things and to get themselves back into to the right headspace. So worked out in their favor. Also, maybe fixing whatever tech issues they had definitely doesn't hurt. But it also, could be just the fact that it's a tertiary site. Just how it goes. Although hard to believe that a bomb site like Benson Workshop is really to blame. Just considering, I feel like that is sort of, Border is very isolated in that, where all 3 of the main bomb sites are really, really solid. Like I did say that I personally dislike Armory and Arsenal. Like I personally treat it as a tertiary, but it's still a really, really solid bomb site. Whereas like you have some other maps where it's like you're sort of stuck, just having to pick this because you have really no other choice, and whatever the 4th bomb site is even worse. But here, really,
now
really
we're
solid.
walking back previous statements from the casters. Just no accountability. I am ashamed. I am ashamed of this caster work. You're not even sticking to your guns. If you say that the site is ass, then say the site is ass, but don't backtrack on it.
Oh, the site is ass. Personally, yeah. I hate. To be fair, I hate the map as a whole.
Okay, your ranked experience doesn't count.
Yeah, well, I don't play comp. I don't play comp. If we were going by my comp preferences, we would not be on this map at all. In fact, we wouldn't see half of the maps that we see in comp. We'd see like Nighthaven and Yacht. Yeah. Oh, there goes the opening frag. As Kieran finds Tav, who I'm not really sure where he was. Oh well, he was trying to run out. Didn't really work.
Gifting a free phone away over to Kieran, just saying, hey, you want to hack our cams? You want to call us?
Do it safely.
Yeah, do it from outside the building so you're not even exposed to anyone.
Yep.
Watch Doge trying to connect onto that, trying to deny Kieran any more power, but instead just gonna almost die there. A lot of damage done to the walls, none to Watch Doge, and he's gonna be able to fall back. Once again, Watch Doge, he has this like miraculous ability on the roam to just run around bullets while the walls are getting opened up and to just fall back safely. It is just the miracle of Arrow of just Watch Doge, just avoiding all of it. He does it consistently.
I was gonna say, it reminds me of the same thing of the exact same thing that he did back on Clubhouse as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Benny taking a lot of damage and getting taken out as well. That's Cannon from, I believe, above. Taking down the my. His magnets are gone with him, and I do believe that is the pressure from inside of Workshop gone.
Oh.
Belita on those cams does find the Dokkaebi up on rafters, but manages to find himself downed. from those vert angles, and now it's all down to Butch Doge and Nate effectively as the grenade comes in to finish off Alita. Nate stuck in this tiny little corner here by the vending machine, but they know exactly where he is. They isolate him, they find the kill, and there goes Kieran with the drop to find another one. Watch Doge, despite finding one kill, wasn't able to really do anything for this round. And the round, once again, going Lumina Gaming's way. They managed to equalize, and well, now I'm starting to worry a tiny bit here for Arrow. Just considering how much of a landslide that round was. I mean, before, it was a landslide pretty much completely in their favor, and now they're just getting absolutely obliterated. Although, I will say they might be getting a little bit too aggressive, because I'm still trying to explain that jump out from the Fenrir. What really was the reasoning for that? Was it really necessary? Jump outs are hardly ever necessary, especially that early in the round, especially with little info. I really don't know what the intention... Well, the intention there was to jump out, get the kill, and then, have a little smirk on your face because you managed to do a jump out and kill somebody. But, was it really necessary? I don't think so. And, the fact that they lost the round proves that. So, hopefully this time they're going to be a little bit more reeled in and aren't really going to be as aggressive as before. Looks like he took our advice, because Rooney is indeed not playing the Monty this time, despite attacking this bomb site again. Did not work out before, and I'm glad that we're not going to be seeing any more of that, because that was, well, not good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to point to. Of course, Lumina completely flipping the momentum here, and that was directly after that tech TO. Before that, it was ages ago. Might not remember it anymore. Feels like it's ancient history, but we were saying that, Rooney on this Monty not really doing much. He's trying to post up aggressively. He's trying to go for just power positions and picks, extending with that shield, and that's not working because the Monty is an intel operator. You walk into a room, you take control of the room, and you start yellow pinging for other people to do something off of that information, and you force people to move. But Rooney's been trying to use it as an entry fragger, and that wasn't working. And of course, immediately after the rehost, Rooney runs in with the Ram, very good gun, and is able to find 3 kills for himself, which is where he stands right now. And since then, Lumina have found a lot more success, and there we go. Yono already with a vert nade. Of course, if the patch wouldn't have gotten delayed, we would have seen this.
Yeah,
but we're still on the old patch for now, at least for another week or so. And that means that there's going to be at least one player gone. Nate is trying to capitalize off of these players running past him, having no idea, but they're getting so many kills and he's finding nothing off of it. Finally, he gets cannon, but it's a 4v2. He's tagged down to low HP. They're chasing after him. He's able to find a second, finally traded out. Plant is trying to come through, and there we go. Rooney punishes it. Very good frags from Rooney, and once again, finally, as he's off that Monty, he's able to find the important frags, and Lumina is starting to get up the frag game, and they take the lead.
Yeah, how have we won that, says Kieran. I also want to know. Very, very unfortunate there from the Jaeger inside of customs, or inside of CCTV. Had ample opportunity to get 1, 2, 3, 4 kills there. But very, very unfortunate. Every single time that he went for a gunfight, somebody ran just past, so he tried to over-aggress, and then he got shot in the back, so he turned around, got that kill, ran back out, and then IQ's right in front of him. Very, very, very unlucky there. Could have been a lot more successful, but just really wasn't anticipating quite that much contention over that side, and maybe got a little bit too trigger happy, but nevertheless, Lumina Gaming, very, very well played, very well adapted from what we saw from them before, which was, like I said, not good, but they managed to completely turn it around and put themselves into the lead, looking now, staring at the face of a potential 4-2 split, which on any map, when you're starting on the attacking side, is always good, but especially on border. So definitely a very good position for them to be in currently. And a little bit of roam presence here from Tav, just trying to hold off any potential upstairs pushes coming up from Lumina. A couple of those drones still left in play that could be doing a little bit of damage onto this exact roam play that I just talked about.
Yeah, ever since the rehost, of course, with the stats being reset, you can now see that those past 3 rounds, they were very confident from Lumina. I mean, Lumina right now look like they're absolutely tearing through Arrow. at least on the scoreboard, because we don't see those previous 2 rounds from Arrow that Arrow was able to close out, and so the moment just it's a momentum shifter. It's a really big momentum shifter. You can't underestimate it, and we've got a 3-2 advantage. As you said, a 4-2 half would be absolutely desirable when you're on the attacking half, and Benny going out aggressively, trying to find a pick. There we go. He finds it onto Bingo. Nate takes down Kieran as well in the meantime, and Tav also injured, but might be recoverable. Not sure where Tav is bleeding out at the moment. Rooney has one player pinned in. Benny's just going to try and play for time. Tav is all alone, and Yono's probably going to gatekeep that, so there's nobody coming around to save him. Tav is just going to slowly bleed out at this. That is going to waste some time from Yono. He's just going to try and confirm that kill for a bit. But other than that, good pick from Lumina. Now a push-up comes through, but Nate able to connect onto a second. Now a crossfire coming in, taking down Rooney as well. It's essentially only down to Yono, and they have a rough idea of where he is because he did confirm that kill over onto Tav because of the bleed out. And so now Yono having to rotate, minute and 30. Might even be able to slow it down. Once again, Arrow have regained momentum, and Lumina yet again have the chance to try and slow it down. This time not through technical means, but this time, they've got a minute and 30. Yono can just chill for a bit. They can talk about next round while he tries to find some off-angle picks. Against 4 opponents, that's not really much that you can do, even with that gun.
Yeah. Very, very unfortunate position for him to be in right now. I do feel a little bit responsible for the way that this is turning out for Lumina, considering that I was talking big game about them potentially having a 4-2 split, and then immediately they get just completely obliterated. I've been saying that word a lot. I'm trying to find a replacement. I can't think of one, so I'll continue using that
Annihilated,
one.
decimated.
There we go. I wanted to say English is not my first language, but I feel like you're the wrong person to try and make that excuse to, so...
English is basically a native language. I learned it at like, I don't know, 10.
Yeah, so did I, so... but, anyway, there goes the hatch drop coming into Workshop, manages to find that kill as well. Swiftly taking this down from a 1v4 to a 1v2, but unfortunately had no idea about the player tucked in behind the bathrooms of... Is that a shower? Yeah. Behind the shower wall.
Just, I love...
I've been holding off from saying that. So if you couldn't hear it right there, but Happy said that this reminds him of when 5 stars through on Border all the way back at the end of season 2 in the grand final, map 5, mind you. Oh Lord, that and I've been wanting to mention that. I have already mentioned it before back on Clubhouse, but it hurts more now because we're on a map that I actually had to cast then and had to witness you completely just throw for no reason. That was...
What do you mean for no reason? It was
for
maps.
no reason.
It was 5 maps. It was broadcasted. It was infinite OT. We were getting content. You don't understand.
No, dude.
I'm a caster.
Bro.
I know how it is. You gotta make it exciting.
I was solo. It started at like 8. We finished at like 2 a.m. I wanted to kill all of you. That was excruciating. It was a Monday night. It started at like 8 p.m. I was already so tired. I was like I was switching my duos for like most of that, and then I was solo for the last map. That was so difficult to do. And then it was supposed to be a 3-0, which is the worst part. It was supposed to be a 3-0 closeout for 5 stars because they had a 2-0 lead with like a 7-something. And then they just, I'm lying. It went like 18 rounds in the first map. But nevertheless, it was supposed to be like a 3-0. And then for some reason, they just decided to keep throwing the final 3 maps. And then they were supposed to have like a 7-5 closeout on Border, and they just decided to throw it to like around 16 or 17. So I'm a little bit annoyed about that still. Can you tell? Like 4 months later. But anyway.
just a little rant.
Just a little. But there we go. Opening kill. Nate finds Jono and finds that Legion as well. Very good opener there from Arrow. A lot more confident than the round previous. And as they head off into their attacking round, or into their attacking half rather, hopefully they're going to be able to make up some ground after Lumina were able to make up ground on their part.
We haven't played Border since then.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Dreadful.
I don't know, we might pick it up at some point. Depends on what the map pool might look like in a few months. At the moment, Rooney just trying to go for a bit of a sneaky play. Gets caught up by Nate though. Nate now on a double kill, low on HP. but good gun, of course. LED5, the damage playing into his hands, able to win out that fight. It's the advantage of the attackers. You've got higher damage guns. The fire rate usually favors the defenders, so headshots are very important. But Tav, he just completely ignores that. He gets a headshot with a DMR. It's completely unnecessary. And Cannon, there we go. He's using that fire rate to get Watch Doge. At least finds one back, but Tav finds Kieran as well. So it's only down to Cannon. And suddenly Lumina, just as quickly as they gained their momentum to find 3 rounds, they've lost it again. Another 1v4, and once again, Cannon, just like Yono in the previous round, has to try and fight back from this. Has to try and maybe at least step ahead a few kills, but the diffuser's down, Tav swings him, he's flashed. There's nothing that you're gonna do about that. And Arrow finally finding back into this and taking the lead. Straight back away from Lumina, and once again we go for these back and forth trades. It's difficult to tell where these matches are going. You can't project it.
Yeah, you really cannot. I mean, at the start of the game, it really looked, sort of uneven, just for lack of a better word, where it was like, okay, Arrow were playing with the sub, and Lumina had a lot of roster changes. So you were kind of expecting already a bit of a rough ground here, where it wasn't going to be a steamroll either way. Plus, both teams really solid so far throughout the season. So
Bombs as they can.
you already expected quite solid work but at this point you really cannot predict anything. Like, for me to say now, oh, it's going to be a closeout one way or the other, like we're going to be seeing map 3 or we won't, I really cannot say, because at the start of the map, you might have been able to be like, oh, this is going to be an Arrow closeout, Lumina completely lost themselves, but then we had that rehost situation happen, Lumina came back full swing, and then Arrow came back with an answer of their own. So like you said, really cannot project it, and
5 seconds.
that's kind of what makes this so much more exciting, to be completely honest, is just not knowing where this is going to go. Because sometimes, sure, a complete steamroll is fun to watch sometimes, because you get to see a team really show off their best, but, this is a lot more entertaining of just watching 2 teams battle it out back and forth like this.
Oh, Bingo, you should have learned this by now. We don't use the gadget on Ward. The operator's meant for the gun. Turn that gadget off.
That's so funny that you say that, because I've been playing a lot of Warden recently, and every time I get flashed, I run away. And then I'm like, wait, no, I'm Warden. It's every time. I just forget that that's his gadget. Oh, Lord. But there we go, opening
frag. You do not want to
frag.
hear the 5 stars comms, and let's just say oh my god, Bingo, alright, shutting me up. I'm not going to talk about Selberg, I'll talk about Bingo instead. Jesus. What a shot from Bingo. Just had another opportunity. Almost connects that as well. Confidence.
Sheesh.
Come on, Bingo. I'm sure you can hit that. Little more damage taken. Bingo's getting confident. He wants to find that swing. He wants to get that pick. Come on. Swing into him. Give him that pick. Bingo really wants that. And so the best thing Arrow can do right now is just disengage. Watch Doge. Able to find one. Does get traded by Yono. So still big man advantage for Lumina. Nate finds Bingo though. And now Nate inside of the building, trying to connect onto one player, but gets caught up by Kieran, who's just hiding tucked on that window. And Rooney with the deagle, able to find it. Lumina, they shake off their first round on the defense, and with the second one, they're able to bring it back. And once again, we're even between the 2 teams. This is going to happen a few more times, I feel.
Yeah, I think you're correct on that. And very big round there from Bingo. So far we've been benching a lot of players, some who may or may not be in the lobby at the moment. But we've been mentioning a lot about Rooney and Cannon, but I feel like if somebody has been watching the stream so far, they know exactly who I mean when I say
Who
that.
in the world is Semper? It's just somebody watching like, who's this guy? I don't know.
That's the worst. If somebody who hasn't been following, sort of the comp spaces, Lumina, Revival for the past couple months, has no clue who Zemper is or why we are, shining his boots at this point. But yeah, I was gonna say we've been talking a big game about Rooney and Cannon. Meanwhile, Yono/Jono a very silent killer so far. I mean, he silently climbed himself to the top of the leaderboard of
Those
this
are extra
entire
kills.
lobby. 9 kills to his name, and Bingo not doing too shabby by himself. I mean, he's right on par there with Kieran and Cannon. So the entire team so far very, very solid. Arrow, on the other hand, still have a couple of those players that need to put in a little bit of the work. Of course, the game is not about kills. I'll always be the first one to say that. There are so many nuances and so many more factors when in a single round that kills really just cannot determine this. Rounds that they have 4 rounds on the board really wouldn't discount those kills as being anything that they're missing, but they don't hurt. They don't hurt to buff up those stats. And wow, as they say that, there goes Watch Doge with the C4. Rooney finding himself yet another one.
Yeah, right. Just getting into the building. Arrow here trying to take that fight onto the Valkyrie. Just aggressive swings coming out from Rooney. He's confident. Just get taken down by Nate. Nate's been good for these entries. He's been finding them. Just been doing a lot of work on the sledge. Able to find the picks. Open up some of these rounds. And bingo. There we go. Once again. Good crosshair placement. Able to find that headshot onto Benny. That is the Heartbreacher down. That is bingo now with less pressure here on top floor. He might be able to pull himself back. Yono takes a lot of damage from down below. I think he did get a C4 off. I don't think it connected onto much. And just at the moment, Bingo, I quickly want to touch up on Bingo. It's a player that I feel like Bingo has a few consistency issues. It's like here or there, sometimes it can be a bit shaky, and it's especially when expectations are put on him. I think Bingo's like a background fragger. It's like when you least expect Bingo to pop off, he hits shots like he did in the previous round. But as soon as you put him on your radar, as soon as you're like, okay, I'm expecting big things from Bingo, he usually just falls a little flat, and you see somebody else like Rooney, who's very, very consistent, and Cannon, who can be an outstanding, high number fragger for the side of Lumina. Why am I praising them? I wanted to trash talk them, but they're actually doing kind of well. And so I'm struggling to find bad words about them. And of course, immediately Cannon, I said he's a big number fragger. He's able to find the pick onto Nate. And Arrow at the moment struggling to get enough control without losing all the players in the process. And also a good info game coming in because, obviously some of those pre-placed C4s doing work. And bingo! Second for him in the round. Sees that Finka, not quite able to confirm it. Is there still a Finka boost left? That might play into the role. And there we go. Bingo, yeah. There has to be a Finka boost left, probably. Last player's injured. Here it comes, finally. Will it come in time? No! Bingo gets it. And Lumina, they regain the lead. And once again, we switch the lead.
Yep, once again we switched the lead. And I will say, a little bit annoyed there at Bingo for not utilizing the impact grenade that he had in his bucket to throw it down at the Finka, because that really could have worked out completely against him in a different situation. Of course, worked out there, so it didn't really matter. But if the Finka had that boost ready quicker, him sort of stumbling around rafters and trying to find a pick onto the player onto the IQ, playing at the bottom of East Stairs, really could have hurt him there, because the Finka boosts herself, gets herself back up, kills him, and then that leaves Lumina quite vulnerable. So definitely you gotta pay attention to the utility that you have and how you might utilize it. I think sometimes a lot of people forget the utility that they have and what they can do with it. So definitely gotta keep that in the back of your mind. I say, 2 minutes after saying that whenever I play Warden, I run away from flash grenades, so what do I really know? But,
Oh,
it's a smiley face.
Oh.
I was like, what are we doing? What are we looking at? But yeah, he made it a little smiley face. That's cute.
Kieran's bored with the setup. He's probably done already. He's supposed to drone hunt, but instead he's shooting at a wall because why? Why drone hunt when you can make a smiley and make Haffy look at it?
Yeah, true. I mean, one of them definitely is a much more worthwhile action, so...
Yeah, and we're not going to say which one. You can just guess.
Yeah.
Bomb located by attackers.
But here we go. Another round, potentially putting Lumina onto match point should they pull this off correctly, or Arrow could equalize yet again, confirm that we are seeing all 12 rounds of regulation and maybe more as we head off into round 10 here of the order match. Defending Vents and Workshop is Lumina Gaming. for the first time? Second time? I don't
Second
remember.
time, I believe. I think they've gone here once before. It didn't really work out for them.
Hmm.
If I remember, the Kieran jump out once again. We've got aggressive plays and it
Ooh.
doesn't work out. We've seen Arrow do this unsuccessfully, and instead, okay, all right. Why are we doing
No.
this?
Okay.
Kieran just giving away a free pick over on site. Just Tav
Oh,
as well.
boy.
Watch Doge connects onto Rooney too. Tav now just walking in. He hears a reinforcement being put down. He's able to get one. He's able to pull away from the other so that Bingo doesn't trade him immediately. Now he knows where Bingo is. Cannon's able to find two upstairs though. Pulls it back in for his team. Cannon now low HP. Has to try and contend with at least one more player in here. Cannon for a triple. How does he connect onto that? Finally gets taken down by Benny. And now Bingo is in a 1v2, but certainly doable. He is playing the Goyo. I hope he's taken the skins off. Didn't end well for him last time. He does have 2 impacts in pocket. You did mention it last time. He didn't use them properly. Maybe he gets an opportunity this time. There's a yellow ping coming through on a player that's not moving. There we go. Here's the impact. Does some damage, but the player runs away at just the right time. Be careful about these vert holes. There's some damage. No damage done to Benny, and instead Bingo gets tagged in the foot. Has to back off. Still 50 seconds left. He has one more impact left to play with. I don't know how much info there still is. They might be hunting the Valcam up above. Of course, IQ's still alive. They should be able to get rid of this util. And now Benny pushing himself in, trying to go for that plant on the default spot. They're not really sure where to put Valida for the plant coverage, as Bingo is going for a wide flank. He's really far away, and this is going to probably allow the plant to come through. Yes, it will. Now, Bingo coming in. Might be able to find the first, and yes, he does. He's able to connect onto the first, so it's only down to Valida. Valida still has a breaching charge left. Able to open up vert holes. Bingo will have to retake up above, but he doesn't have any time to deal with this. He has less than 30 seconds, and he still needs to defuse. Keep that in mind. He doesn't know where the player is, that they can play for time. Valida goes for a wide swing aggressively, and he does find it successfully. A preemptive play coming out, and it works out in favor of him. And so Arrow bring one back. Lumina not quite running away with it just yet.
That gave me flashbacks right there. That really did. That gave me Vietnam flashbacks to a couple months ago. Because why aren't you ADS? That's what I want to know. You're, like, Bingo absolutely could have had that kill, or at least could have had a way better chance of getting that kill when Valida swung. I don't know if he would have been able to get that kill just because of, swing or be swung thing in Siege, but would have had a better shot at it than just staring at the hole exposed without ever ADSing. That is upsetting. Because it's just, what are you doing? Like, why? I'd really like to.
In all fairness, it was a very good preemptive play from Valida. It's hard to expect a swing like that, and even if you do, it's a hard shot. It's a hard shot to hit. It was the right choice by Valida. It's a little risky peeking into a player when you're the one that can play for time. But sometimes it's the only option you got, because if you hide, he might just run up to you, kill you, because then he's the one that gets to swing. And like you said, swing or be swung, it is an important factor, at least in online Siege. You can't be holding angles all that much. You need to be on the aggressive side because it gives you more time, just because of how server communication between different IPs work. You've got a bit of delay. If you swing, you get a bit more reaction time to other people, but of course there's a lot of information that you have to process. So try and avoid wide swinging and try and check every angle, and Valida swings just the right amount. He's able to find that pick. Able to reel that round back in for his team. Of course, good team play coming out on that plant as well. Not allowing Bingo an in back into the round, despite him doing so well. And you can see it here. Bingo still on fire. He's not discouraged by losing that clutch. He just continues it. Once again, opening pick for Bingo, and he's doing well on that Warden.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's good that you mentioned Valida managing or swinging that well and managing to find that kill, because I spoke a little bit ago about the kill spread on the side of Arrow, and that was Valida's only second kill, and it really shows how it might not get that many, but when he does, they count, and they count for a lot. Very, very chaotic start to the round, where kills are just coming out every which way from both sides. Cannon manages to find yet another one, can't quite connect there to find the kill onto Valida, but Tab will be the next one to go down, and Valida once again in this clutch situation trying to find a round for his team. I don't think it's going to be quite as doable as it was before in a 1 versus 3. Of course, 2 of those players are quite tagged up, so it's not quite so bleak, but it is definitely going to be difficult. Bit of a messed up C4 there from Bingo.
He doesn't even try to pick it up. He just gives
No.
up on that. And there we go. Was that a punch hole? That might have been a punch hole
Yeah.
from Yono. Yeah, it was. All right.
Wow.
Playing well around Bingo there on the aggressive position. Yono just right behind that, playing on a punch hole. There's hardly going to be a way for that remaining player, Valida, to just deal with that. And so, once again, we have not two, but this time at least one match point opportunity for Lumina. And so far, Lumina just slightly coming out ahead in these matchups. And Arrow will have to show us what they've got. They've got their backs against the wall. They need to win this round now. They absolutely have to, so they can go to overtime, survive in overtime just to make it to map 3. So just Lumina firmly in control. Just gotta wait and see how the next round pans out, especially with the side choice
Attackers need to locate
falling
and
into the favor of Lumina. They go back down to bathroom. They've won this very comfortably. Had some issues with it, just trying not to start a giveaway. But ultimately, I think decent round from them. Just keep it in, keep it close. Make sure you're not giving any opportunities over to Arrow, because so far from what we've seen, Lumina have taken every opportunity that they've gotten. And if Arrow do the same thing, might get very risky.
Yeah, it definitely could. But
The Capcan traps, the
yeah.
default spot Capcan traps, they're always around here.
Yeah. To be fair, though, we have not seen Capcan yet at all, so could be something that that Arrow might not be expecting. Although considering the fact that they have 2 drones watching that same hallway, if at least one of those drones doesn't spot out the Capcan traps, then there's something seriously wrong, either in the communication or in the eyes of Arrow. But there goes an initial push here from Jail. Jonah trying to push back with the Pulse, who we also haven't seen played at all here so far. Most surprised that we didn't see him on Clubhouse ever, but nevertheless, the opening pick, Tav onto Bingo. Very important fragger in the past few rounds here for the side of Lumina. He will go down, as will Jono, and now Arrow setting themselves up for a much better start to the round than we've seen so far.
Yeah,
Minute
right.
gone.
Only 50 seconds off the board.
Yeah.
Already got 2 players lost on the side of Lumina. Not a really good start for closing this out. And still, of course, work around the Capcan traps. These Capcan traps might get important in the late round. They're not something that you walk into when you're calm and collected and you're thinking about all the steps as an attacker. They're something that you walk into when you quickly have to make a rotation. Something goes awry and you have to run around. But Tav, everything's going right for him. Gets Rooney through the wall. Cannon finally able to find the opening pick for Lumina in this round. But might be too little too late, as it's now a 2v4. Cannon, Kieran both still up. Kieran taking a little bit of damage. A lot of wordplay coming out now with the Ram still in play. This is going to be quite difficult for them to try and retake this, as Valida also gets one. Watchdoge gets another, and we're going to overtime.
Wow, I did not expect that. I'm gonna be honest. I know I did say it, but I still didn't expect it to actually see it. But yeah, there we go. Overtime is a go. And, well, now it's really just up to fate, I guess, whether or not it's going to be Lumina or Arrow, because much like so far throughout this entire matchup, I haven't really been able to predict who is going to take the round. And every time that I think I do, every time that I think I've got the prediction in the bag, they completely flip it on its head. So I couldn't tell you who's going to take this round, much less who's going to take this map. And, of course, just to jog your memory, should Lumina win Border, that is it. They advance further on. Arrow get knocked down to the lower bracket. And should Arrow win, well, then we'll be taking a short break and we'll see you on Cafe. But, of course, there's still a couple more rounds at least left till we see where that goes and where we go next. Bringing the floors, interesting. We haven't seen the floors yet. I'm excited for that.
Might be just about the right time to bring it out. We saw Lumina trying to pick into that Capcan at an opportune moment, but getting destroyed on that top floor didn't allow them ever putting the attackers under enough pressure to forget about some doorways and to try and push them. They never even went to that part of the map. They just tore them down as they got into the building and then rotated around and got top floor control. They never needed to go through there. So, ill-advised. see if maybe Nate bringing out this odd pick on the Flores has more of an impact. And in the meantime, I would like to know who does. Oh, ZXC goes against the loser from one of the upper bracket semis if they drop down. So we don't actually know who they're going to be up against.
Okay.
Arrow and Lumina. We're not going to know who they're up against because ZXC is already in the lower bracket. They're the first team down. They got knocked down yesterday against Blue Jays North Star, who won out in a. It was all but squeaky clean, but it was a 2-1 victory. And so ZXC down there waiting, and if Arrow lose here, they're gonna join them down there, and they're gonna wait the matches in the semifinals to continue over the next 2 days.
Ghana finding one onto Watch Doge. You know what, Cannon getting very aggressive here on this break door. Rooney finding Nate from a long angle. Oh, there goes a beautiful swing from Kieran. Finds 1 and 2. Beautiful collat there for him, and it's all down to Tav at a pretty explosive round, just a round to go, but I don't know how much that's going to work in a 1 versus 5. Just about 90 seconds still left on the clock. There goes the first of 5 to fall down. I don't think the Lumina are going to be silly enough to give him 3 kills. A very good sound there from him to know that there's a player exactly above him. Pre-fired that through the floor, wasn't really able to find the kill. Yono dropping through the hatch, finds the kill with the knife. A bit of disrespect there. Oh, he was mid-air too. That was from the top ropes, elbow to the fucking face.
That was a leap of faith, Assassin's Creed style.
Assassin's Creed, true. Rogue Yubi game, yep. Wow.
Yeah, we are still with the correct developer, but I think that's the wrong title. Yono booted up the wrong game today, but still works out for them. Lumina up on match point, and once again, Arrow, this is now the second time that they're facing elimination. They need to get 2 in a row, otherwise it's over. They will head to the lower bracket. You do not get a second chance. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Nope. Very difficult time here for Arrow. They're gonna have to try their hardest.
It's also an Ubisoft title, by the way.
What is?
The Monopoly online game. That's also by Ubisoft.
Ah, okay. Nice.
Tying it all together.
Nice, yeah. A good little full circle. I had a thought, but it has escaped me.
Yeah, probably because I talked over you. If you could just like walk away from your microphone and then scream so we can get Far Cry into the mix as well. Gotta collect them all.
Yeah, true. What a shame we don't have an Uno on the lobby.
Oh yeah. That certainly would have been nice, but he's got more important things to do on G2.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, that actually did remind me of what I wanted to say. The only thing that would have made that that hatch drop knife better is if he had played Flores with the Flores Elite. Of course, can't have the Flores Elite in the game, but you know, it would have been a cool, you know, show off type thing. We might do that later, just for some B-roll.
I think operator card in the round replay at the end probably would have counted for me.
Yeah, true. But of course, he wasn't Flores, so.
Yep. All right. In the meantime, high tension game. Lumina, of course, very, very close to advancing into the upper bracket semis against us. Come the day after tomorrow. But for now, they still have to get there. They're not quite there yet. Can still throw it away against Arrow. All these T4 games, they're never over until they're over. Just gotta make sure that you really, really lock it in. And Arrow fighting for survival. They're gonna bring out everything that they have in the playbook. They don't want to go to lower bracket. That's just another game, another 2 games that you will have to play before you can make it anywhere. And you have your backs up against the wall for real, because here, I mean, it's still cushioned, you know? You might lose the matchup, you might go lower bracket, but at least you're still in the fight. And here, Yono is trying to take those chances away from Arrow, trying to take the hopes of an upper bracket run away from them. Just slowly cutting them down. Cannon taking a bit of damage. Nate now finding a kill onto Bingo. The player who was swapped in, who was previously substituted on map 1, finding a big impact kill here. He's 10 and 11. He's fighting for his life in every single round, and now he can just chill on that copier, on that copy machine. Just try and stay alive for as long as possible. Banny, he gets caught up by Yono. Yono just inside of waiting has been able to find huge picks. He's 15 and 5 as well. So many kills for that player. A few stat pads in there as well, but putting up really big numbers. Now pushing up, Rooney with the LMG gets a pick on top floor as well. This is starting to fall apart from Arrow. We might see Lumina in the upper bracket semis. There's only a minute to go. They can push up here. They get Volita as well. He gets knocked. It's only down to Tav. He'll have to find 4 of them. He finds one. He's able to get away with his life after getting cannon. But now he has to reload. They know where he is. There's an LMG coming his way that can pre-fire. But no, he's able to find the pick. Suddenly it's cut down to 2. It's only Yono and Kieran left. And if Tav can find a good pre-fire, as long as he has enough ammo, diffuser has to be recovered. 40 seconds, still comfortable for Yono, but he has to cross back here. This is risky, but Tav is swinging out the wrong way. If the timing goes wrong here, Yono might be able to get that pick. Depends all on how this next fight is going to go. And where Kieran is wrapping in the meantime, Tav has to be careful about this. Tav crossing over, finds Kieran. It's a triple kill. He's put it down to a 1v1. This was a 1v4. Kieran is putting something in chat. He's already just giving up hope. Yono's found 15 kills here, but he's gonna have to find the one that matters. He's behind the bomb. He can try and get that plant down. There's not an angle for Tav to try and deny this. 2 seconds left on the plant. He can try and deny this. He gets off the plant. He doesn't connect the shots. Tav is very, very close to getting the biggest clutch in this entire matchup. And Yono's just holding an angle. He just wants to deny it. He does damage to Tav. Tav, you're breaking me. You're breaking me apart. Yono, he finally goes down and Tav gets it. A 1v4. Arrow reels it back in from the brink of defeat. And a throw almost worse than 5 stars. Keeps us in the game as Lumina. They have to go to max OT.
Defenders win.
Oh my god! What? What?
Unbelievable.
What the hell do you? Wow, yeah, that's. I agree. I agree with the less toxic because that, but I also have to agree with the sentiment because how do you lose that? That was a 4v1. You had site control, you had drones, you had utility, you had diffuser, you had absolutely every opportunity to win that round, and instead they overaggressed every step of the way and allowed a beautiful clutch, don't get me wrong, but allowed a clutch that never should have happened to happen. And now allow Arrow to keep it alive. Of course, it's still high tensions. You know, it's all to play for here for Arrow. If they do not win this round, the matchup is over and they get knocked down to the lower bracket. Lumina, of course, still atop that one map that they won back on Clubhouse, but it's really all to play for here, and I think the Arrow might be very high on adrenaline off the back of a clutch like that, and I think that the mentals might be shifting a little bit more in their favor, but we'll have to see.
I'm high on adrenaline. There's
I
no
am
way
high
that
on
he's not
adrenaline as
pumped.
well.
I mean,
yeah.
they must be heated up now. You could tell from the chat they needed to kiss some boo-boos because they overstepped their territory in the banter a bit. Lumina just throwing away an opportunity to close it out as quickly as possible. They've had 2 match point opportunities. This is their 3rd. Lumina can still get away with this somewhat unscathed. I mean, mentally scarred, but at least when it comes to the scoreboard, they'll be fine. As long as they can still find this round, it'll still be a 2-0. It'll still be a somewhat confident victory, especially considering Clubhouse, that first map, playing out a bit better for Lumina. But in the max OT, now again, Yono bringing out the Kapkan, failing to get that 1v1 clutch off the back of his teammates dying one by one. He tries to get that plant down. He tries his best. But Tav being so fired up, how in the world are you going to win that fight? After he just took down 3 of your own and there's nothing that you could do about it. So now, just minute off the board, bit slower gameplay. Both teams are a little scared, but Volita's able to find the opening pick, and Bingo goes down as well. Arrow, they might just bring this back from the brink of defeat, from already being in the lower bracket and visualizing themselves there. Off the back of Tav getting a big clutch, Watchdog is able to find another pick. It's effectively a 2v5. Yono's down on low HP, he has to drop down as well. Kieran's finally able to find a pick onto Tav, but how much good is it going to do? 2 players knocked now. It's only down to Kieran, and he will have to do what Tav just did once again. We can see 1 clutch of the year. We cannot see 2 clutches of the year, or can we? Kieran's able to find at least 1 more. Bingo's still bleeding out. Kieran now all alone downstairs. He is inside of the bomb site. Arrow, make sure that you don't do the same mistake. We've seen this happen once. Don't let it happen again. Just pull it to map 3. Don't let Kieran do the same thing that Tav did to you. And with 1 minute left on the board, Kieran doesn't have a C4 left. The floor above him is getting opened up. Benny's rotating around to the window. They're gonna try and box him in. As soon as they find out where he is, if they can pin him in, they should win this round by all means. But he has to keep moving. He's keeping his feet mobile, just moving around, making sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough one here. Tough situation. There goes the jump in through the window. Benny in cover, going for that plant. No C4 for Kieran to try and get that plant off. Plant will go down. They have divert pressure. They have the pressure from outside as well. And I think that was Benny jumping out as well. Switching to the shotgun, trying to go for the run up, but there's just too much cover. Watch Doge finds that kill. Arrow somehow managed to, from the brink of death, find that map. And we will be seeing you all on Cafe after it was a very strong back and forth. Tav takes the MVP for this
Unreal.
map, and I could not agree more. You said it, clutch of the year. What an absolute beauty of a round. That is one that I will be replaying for many, many weeks and months to come. Wow, what a beautiful round. But we'll be taking a short break. When we come back, it will be map 3, all to play for both of these teams. It will be Cafe. Stay tuned.
Because I don't know who I am without you, without you. 'Cause my identity has been lost to me. I can't find myself because I don't know who I am without you, without you. 'Cause my identity, who am I to say what you wanna hear? I will bite my tongue till I disappear. Can we talk about me and you?
'cause I'm better off now, better off now. I'm better off now without you. I'm not some toy that you can use. And when you come back, I'll refuse. 'Cause I'm better off now, better off now. I'm better off now without you. I'm not some toy that you can use. And when you come back, I'll refuse. 'Cause I'm better off now, better off now.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to map 3, the map that shouldn't have even been in the first place. Lumina, after being up 4-1 on match point, just not able to close it out. Tav just brings it back, 1 kill at a time, given opportunities and taking the fights and winning them, keeping Arrow in the game, and then a confident last round to just roll over Lumina, a completely desolate and defeated Lumina after that round. We head into map 3. It's been a bit of time now. Arrow maybe calming down from that adrenaline. Lumina maybe building themselves back up from that devastating round loss, you know. There's nothing that you can do but just continue. You gotta go next. It doesn't matter how tough you lose or what happened in the round. There's no point arguing about it. It's in the past. You cannot change what happened in the round. All you can change is what happens next. So Lumina, gotta focus up on this next one. We do see Arrow banning out the Monty. They seem to respect it out of Lumina, at least here on Cafe. It didn't do much on Border, at least, but they do seem to not want to have to deal with it on this map specifically. And once again, Ying, Mira, seeing a lot of the same bans coming out throughout this matchup. Expecting a Solus. No, an Azami. All right. First time the Solus is going to be up on a very vertical map. Solus not as strong here, so I understand why you want to take out the Azami instead. Of course, you know, building bulletproof cover literally anywhere on the map that you feel like. Very powerful ability for the Aruni, or the Azami. I had that issue yesterday when I was casting with Selberg, just naming all the wrong operators.
I've had
Aruni,
that so many
Azami,
times.
Alibi, Amaru, just all of them.
Yeah, I've
Makes
had that so many times.
yeah. Just write them on cards, shuffle them, and then just take a random card. That's how it works.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, not surprised at all to have a zombie banned. She makes most of these bomb sites pretty unattackable, especially that top floor. It piano, just you cannot enter it. I know that because if I'm playing in ranked and she's ever not banned, that's who I'm playing, and you're just not getting into piano. Like, there's just no chance. Because she's so good at not letting you move. There's so much that you have to drone, there's so much utility that you have to throw down, there's so many people that you have to dedicate specifically to that one player, and because of how crucial piano is to taking that top floor,
5 seconds.
until you're able to clear that player, which may take up to the entire round, or maybe even never, you really cannot attack anything else. So, by far the least surprising ban here. I mean, if she wasn't banned, I'd be genuinely shocked as the confidence of both of these teams to keep her alive.
Oh,
And there
Tav.
goes the confidence
Tav.
of the man, the hero of the game previous, manages to find the opening kill onto here and taking down the primary hard breach here for Lumina Gaming. Of course, really still has one of those can openers, but you really don't want to be relying on those solely. And Nate will find another one for himself, take down Rooney, so that now eliminates all of the hard breach potential from the side of Lumina Gaming, and they're gonna have to basically funnel in through the doorways the best they can,
Have recovered their diffuser.
considering the fact that they can't do anything else.
Yeah, not to be a doomsayer, but Lumina already getting off on the wrong foot, and the unrivaled confidence that must be just sitting within Tav after that, not just that clutch, but also just finding a spawn peak now. And of course, the moment Solus is available in play, gets picked out, and Tav immediately does some good work with it. Finds some drones on the roam, makes sure he doesn't get trapped anywhere, able to get rid of a lot of the drone game. You can see 5 drones still alive on the side of Lumina, so half already gone. Quite decent utility clearance, and Arrow, of course, with that big advantage. All they have to do is ride it out now. There's not going to be that much time for Bingo to be doing this vertical work. He can, of course, still do it, but he's worried because Lumina, they might have control of top floor now, and Arrow has disengaged, but they could pop up again at any time when you're not looking, and you're spread very thin. You don't have that many drones, you don't have enough players to hold the staircases. Anybody could be coming up them any moment. You gotta make sure that you don't give them any gaps. In the meantime, Cannon able to find Valida, at least bring it back somewhat. As we're now moving into the mid-run, we're trying to get side control from up above.
Jonah rotating around, trying to put a little bit more pressure here onto the cafe, onto the bakery side of things. Trying to maybe drone out a couple of these players. A lot of these vert angles being covered up from below as well. Arrow still in a lot of these pre-aggressive positions. I'm just waiting for somebody to peek their head on through, knowing they don't really need to be all that passive, considering that the round is already pretty much in their favor. Have tried to be a little bit aggressive, tried to go for a run up those red stairs. Didn't quite work out, so he pushed back down. Didn't really need to overextend. Tried to see if it will work, if he could get a kill. Once he realized he couldn't, just gave it up. There goes the jump in through the window. Has no idea that Tav is there. Nate, in the meantime, finds another kill for himself as well. Bingo now, all on his own. Had a pretty explosive map on border, but it's not gonna come back alive right now as Nate is able to find that kill. Beautiful pre-fire through those Bert Holes is able to find that kill. Round will go Arrow's way, and they start themselves up pretty good.
You say beautiful pre-fire, but I don't think Nate was very happy with that shot. You could see him shaking
Yeah,
the mouse afterward.
that's true.
I don't think he felt very good about it. But hey, you got the pick anyway, and I think just to put a little spotlight on Nate, who came in at map 2, of course. He's certainly been an instrumental factor in Arrow bringing it over the line, because with how close border was, every single kill mattered. And Nate was one of the people that in the mid round is able to fortify a position, find a kill, pull back, keep himself alive, not do anything stupid, right? And just play a bit passively, just keep himself alive, maybe play for a trade, or just hold a power position for like 20-30 seconds and then die to just waste enough time for his team to do the rest of the work. And he just sets up Arrow for success on a lot of positions, and he's able to clean up frags here or there, just getting whatever is necessary, not allowing Lumina to just get too funky with it, just closing all the gaps. Really instrumental from him, and coming in on map 2 and now on map 3 as well. The main roster reassembled back, and now Arrows certainly have the momentum favored here on Cafe, and we can see it in map 1 already panning out.
Yeah, definitely could not agree more. Lumina Gaming now setting up to attack the top floor. Of course, they originally thought that they'd be attacking the mid floor, which is why you could see Bingo picking onto the fuse. Decided to go against it and picking onto the 0 instead. Information seems to be the key of the game so far for both of these teams. Valk was in play a lot previously as well. She continues to be in play,
Yeah.
and now with the Zero coming in, everyone's just trying to find as much information as possible, which really doesn't surprise me considering that these players are so evenly matched when it comes to a lot of this fragability. So they're just trying to find out as much information as they can, and make sure
There we
that they know exactly where these players are. Nate getting spotted out there at the bottom of White Stairs, running back up and not really letting Lumina have any long-lasting information on any of these players just yet.
Yep, so for the most part, Lumina taking it slow this time. Nade walking himself into a Claymore. All right, opening pick goes to Bingo thanks to that. I'm not even sure where exactly that happened. Did he run out on... Oh, okay. Yeah, he was trying to find a pick onto somebody repelling somewhere, and Rooney's actually able to find a firebolt kill onto Benny. I'm not sure how that happens. All right.
When do we ever see that? What?
Usually finishing somebody off, that's when you see a
Yeah.
firebolt kill, not just out of nowhere in the middle of the round. Where did they trap him that he just decided not to run away and just take it?
Bathroom, maybe? That's the only thing I can think of.
I'm not sure, but decent control gain. Big man advantage now for Lumina once again. They're trying to get rid of this. Got caught here. That's a weird spot. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tav gets one kill. Bingo gets another as well. Bingo's on for a triple in this round, apparently. Wow, how's he on for a triple? There was a fireball. It must have been an injure. I think they may have injured the Warden, actually. Oh, what the drop
wow.
shot! The drop shot from Yono! No, that's not allowed, Lumina! And Rooney's able to pick up the last one. Lumina coming back into this. Once again, we're tied up 1-1. We've seen this between the teams quite a lot, but oh my. All right, Lumina. Just a bit of confidence, a bit of rebuild. Come back into this game. Don't drop it.
I'd say it's less confidence and more just we'll show you, a little bit of anger, a little bit of vengeance, a little bit of
tour.
Yeah, a little bit of we should have had this in the bag. It should have been a 2-0. I could have already been halfway through my dinner, and now I still have to play here against you, weirdos. So I think that might be
Need to locate and
might be a little bit of that. Also, maybe a little bit of self-punishment as well. It's like, I cannot believe we threw that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play my heart out now just to cover that up so that people don't talk about it as much. But
Lumina, they're definitely thinking, if we had taken that map, we could have lost 2 ranked matches by now. Just wasting our time.
True.
But you have nobody to blame but yourself, Lumina. And at the moment, just going back and forth. We've got Arrow, I think now just running up to top shape. And I think Lumina, they've been playing a pretty good game aside from, the occasional obvious struggles. And especially, speaking of struggles. All right, there we go.
I was gonna
They got
say.
it in the end. Took a moment. But I think now we're shaped up for either seeing somebody run away with this map or we're gonna see another very, very close affair. And judging by how these two teams have played so far, I don't think anybody's gonna run away with it necessarily. Both of these teams are too pervasive for that. They're too annoying, so to speak.
Definitely get what you mean. Here goes a little bit of a spawn peek attempt from Tav. Didn't quite pan out the way that he wanted it to. Getting spotted out, which is a little bit ironic considering the fact that he is the Solace. Of course, should have been able to spot out those drones. And, well, there we go. He spots out the Zero instead. A whole ass Zero he finds as the opening kill, taking down Bingo yet again. I already said it. He had a very explosive map on border. Not really coming alive, although to be fair, you did say he had a 3k in the round previous, so not too shabby for him in this round. Minute gone. Lumina, very limited control, if any, at this point in time. Just trying to, well, that's a clever way of using RAM, actually, all the way from up top on Skylight. You can still do a lot of destruction. Can't really,
I think that saved like 2 meters off the ram. I don't think that did much Benny shooting there. It would have ran out of fuel by that point. And there we go. There's a hatch drop, or a skylight drop rather, coming through from Rooney, and it's not expected because those ram gadgets are so loud. They're good for sound cover, and Cannon's able to get a knife finish onto another player as well as Nate takes down one as well. We're now suddenly in a 3v3. A lot of kills coming through. Yono gets one onto Tav as well. Big star player getting taken down as well. Rooney trying to take that fight onto Valida, loses it. Nate also able to find a pick. Suddenly it's only down to Yono. However, Rooney might be recoverable. As long as he plays this safely, should be able to get him back up. Yeah, there we go. Rooney now low HP, but at least back in the fight, and that DMR can do a lot of damage, even if you don't have a health advantage. Volita has to be careful here. He's playing behind a soft wall. If he exposes himself a bit too much, Rooney might be able to just get a wall bang. Get away with it here. 50 seconds. Rooney thinking about maybe rotating around. Nate in position for a flank. Not expected. Yono gets caught unaware by that. Nate on a triple in this round. Just a lot of hero plays coming through. Nate with a quad. Very good round. Takes down Rooney as well. And Arrow, once again, they retake the lead. A lot of lead shifts expected in this matchup, just like the previous two maps. And for now, Arrow, once again, coming out ahead in a match that should have been over about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I spoke about the silent killer at last game where it was, or last map rather, where it was Yono just sort of jumping on top of Rooney and Cannon and Bingo to a degree as well. This map, it is definitely Nate who so far has, you did say he was instrumental. There was a lot of really good kills that he's been getting, but he was, sort of in the background. I think overshadowed a little bit by the clutch from Tav and the general aggression that we saw from Tav. But definitely very, very good so far. I mean, the best player in the lobby right now, almost doubling the kills of the next best player, which is Tav. So very, very good map for him. You can definitely see that he's feeling himself on Cafe. And I really hope that sticks around for Arrow, especially because I did say earlier a little bit, the fragability on the side of Lumina is, I wouldn't say at an all-time high. I think that they probably had rosters with a little bit more frag potential. But nevertheless, though, Lumina has always been known for being a very, very frag-heavy team, and that continues to ring true. So for Arrow to be waking up a little bit on the side of those kills is definitely a good change of pace for them.
I mean, the scary thing right now is Arrow are basically playing with two players. The only two people that have kills are Tav and Nate, and I know kills aren't everything, but 7 and 4, they combine for 11. All of Lumina combined is 9. So at the moment we're outfragged, like Lumina's getting outfragged heavily by just 2 players, and Yono's gonna try and reel that back in, takes down Benny. Benny gonna continue staying on 0 kills. He's not one of the important players that Lumina's looking for at the moment, but it is a pick, it is advantage, it is what they want. They get some VIP control, they're able to open up the wall. And very early on, we're looking for a very one-dimensional freezer take, at least for now. As there's also one player on the roof, Adokabi. Very good for that roam clear, once again, Rooney. Just utilizing that operator a lot. You can really abuse that operator when it comes to roam clearing. It's almost, I think I would say, more powerful than Jackal nowadays.
Yeah.
Clear roamers properly.
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, somebody's sticking his face out a window, and he gets punished for it as well, Nate. Taken down by Yono, just not allowed to do that. Yono continuing to take some more fights. I'm not sure why we're giving them over to those opponents. Arrow, at the moment, 5v2 turns into a 4v2. Volita able to find first kill of the game, and Yono now on for a triple. Once again, we have another triple kill. Kieran is trying to plant. He's getting denied by an Echo Cam, but now the Echo will have to fall off of it to try and shoot him, but Bingo's there, connects the headshot onto Volita, and another round goes into the pocket of Lumina, and once again, we tie up the game.
Yeah, once again, here we are, tied up. Very common theme of the night, where it's just back and forth. And it continues to be the case where we just cannot predict what is going to happen. I mean, off the back of the round previous, you might think, oh, Arrow's going to have this in the bag, and then immediately Lumina answer perfectly and just completely deny them. So really impossible to predict, really impossible to tell where things are going to go for the next round. And now as we head back on upstairs, we're going to have to wait and see how this round is going to play out. Again, last time around, Lumina were pretty confident here. We're able to attack it really, really well. Got an insane kill with the firebolt somehow inside of Pixel, which I'm still confused about how Tab got trapped there.
I think it was an injure. It must have been an injure because Bingo got a triple. I think
he did
shoot him.
Yeah, that way it would have had to have been, yeah.
Yeah, nevertheless, it's good clearance of Pixel. It's like, yeah, okay, you're playing the Warden and you can look through the smokes that I can put out with the Capital bolts, but good luck looking through fire.
Yeah. So, yeah, they had a pretty good run here. Wondering whether or not they can have a repeat of that, or if Arrow are a little bit more that is coming their way. Hopefully this time Nate won't try to run out and get himself killed.
Especially when nothing's happening. Like, he tried running out on a side where there was nobody repelling. There was no info on that. He was just trying to blind peek into a run out, and he dies for it, just quite unnecessarily. I'm not really sure why you would do that. I mean, yeah, confidence plays a factor, but overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta really make sure that you're not falling for that. And so right now, okay, we have another rat, Nate, hiding in a spot. Let's see if he gets droned out on stage. Rooney, do your due diligence. Oh, yeah, you could see the double take. He looked back over. What? Surely this is clear. Why is there a player here? All right, aggressive posting up for Rooney. It doesn't work out for him. Nate takes him down. Tries to get into that corner, but ultimately that F-Naught is going to punish him, but Bingo on the trade. Nate overstepping just a tiny little bit, as Valida is able to find Cannon as well. So man advantage maintained for Arrow at least. Good start, despite Nate going down. And some damage done to Bingo as well, as Yono's actually able to take down Tav. So never mind that pixel position once again being cleared out. Gonna be quite difficult for Arrow to maintain this on the defense. Lumina is posturing up, even with nades down below. If they can get some info onto this Maestro, they might connect a good nade. As long as the patch is still the old one, might be able to find one if you cook it well. Good timing. It's down to 1 HP. It's very close. Almost connected onto him, but he's got to be careful. No, he finds it.
Okay.
The timing there could have worked against him. Benny almost shot him in the face while he was holding a nade. But instead, Benny's the one that goes down. And so Lumina, man advantage, minute left on the board. Watch Doge, he's retaking that position. Valida has found a good kill, but how much are you going to realistically do here, Arrow?
Good question. Pushing in through this piano breach yet again. The pixel shield still in position, can't really push onto that, especially with the DMR. Very good for those long range engagements. And Bingo on the roof gets himself downed on the skylight. No one can really retrieve him unless he drops down that red hatch, which of course by the time that he gets there, he will have lost a lot of HP. And now as they lose Yono on the Finca, that denies any possibility of him picking it up, and Polito will clean up this round nice and quick. And the round once again going Arrow's way. They extend their lead to 3-2, and I think maybe for the first time tonight we might see a 4-2 lead, a 4-2 split for somebody.
All we've seen so far is 3 threes. I think if the trend is going to continue, then Lumina should be able to take this next one, and will once again tie up the score, as we have done every single time somebody's taken an advantage, it seems. But for the moment, I mean, at the very end, somebody will have to win. But until we get there, we might just continue trading rounds back and forth. I quickly want to speak on the last round. I just want to say, it's a very good setup from Arrow. Like, they didn't have the gunfights go in their favor, but that setup was so ridiculously annoying to deal with. There was F-Naughts everywhere. There was so much utility placed over on shop and on, like, minibar. On that little minibar right in front of the stage. It was impossible for Lumina to take any control despite having man advantage. They just walked straight into the setup that was established by Arrow. And they punish it properly, they play their positions correctly, so certainly had a strat in mind, played it to perfection. They seem to have that one down at least. So now going to the second floor, heading not quite fully upstairs. Got Arrow trying to, for the first time ever, break us out of this continuous back and forth trade and maybe give us one single 4-2 half.
Yeah, maybe we do get to see that. Was that? No. Sorry. Tab upstairs trying to hold the fort. No. Tab upstairs trying to hold the fort down inside of dining, just waiting for somebody to push him up there. A very top-heavy push all the way down to the bottom floor, which of course could work, but very time-consuming. Of course, not to the bottom floor, but you know, the mid floor. The ram in play yet again from the skylight. Again, very clever use of the operator's gadget, where you can just throw it down from the skylight, get a lot of info, see a lot of see a lot of that floor get opened up without really exposing yourself too much. And Watch Doge finds that opening kill into Bingo. Bingo, not really been too lucky, not been too
I
happy
like
with
that.
this.
Did you see that Ram just clear out a Wamai magnet that was on that bar?
Oh, no, I
dropped
didn't.
it down. No, it didn't kill it, but it's so strange. It's in such a weird position now as Cannon gets the first, Rooney gets the second with the SMG-12. Nate is able to trade onto Cannon as he walks into another F-Naught. These are really, really problematic for Lumina as Watchdog is able to get another onto Rooney as well. Watchdog with a second, a triple for him in the round as well. Kieran now, the only guy alive. He's still got a donut in this matchup. He can at least get himself off of that for now, but the question is, will it be enough to try and find a clutch? The F-Naught, once again, playing in favor of Arrow. Kieran gets the kill anyway. Says, I don't need to see in order to kill. Bullets will connect regardless of if I see it happen or not. Valita doesn't have a C4, but Watchdog... Oh, there's a drop down! Oh, this is awkward. Kieran gets it. It's suddenly a 1v1. That was not in the cards. That was not in the script for Kieran to do. He was not supposed to do that. Valita just absolutely caught off guard by that. Watchdog, now, last one alive, has to try and stop Kieran from doing a clutch. Nothing will get as embarrassing as Tav getting that 1v4, but Kieran in a 1v3 might be damn near close to doing it as well. 30 seconds, he has some time, he has a Selma that's going to cover the sound. He could try and go for a plant, but he's giving away his position by pre-firing. He doesn't have any info on where Watchdog might be, and Doge still has a C4 to use. Doge moves slowly, make sure you're using that C4 properly, falls off the plant, and it connects! Arrow deny the clutch. They're not gonna let that happen to them. They're the ones that do it. They are the ones in control. They're not the ones that let it happen. And Arrow, for the first time ever, we break the stalemate. We've got a 4-2 half.
Yeah, that's the farthest. Well, not the farthest. We've already had a 2-round lead back on Clubhouse.
Obviously
but
on Clubhouse, but yeah.
Yeah, since
the first
then we've
4-2 split in the first half, and it is the first time that inside of Cafe we have broken the back and forth. It is Arrow taking 2 in a row, and this is really, really what they were looking for. And now for the first time, this is the first time that Arrow have broken away with 2 rounds, by the way.
Yeah,
the first time in this entire match. It's been 3 maps, and Lumina has done it once on Clubhouse when they had match point opportunity and then closed it out. But this is the first time that Arrow have had a lead as comfortable as this. In the meantime, I think Rooney's AFK. Cannon's just investigating it.
Oh, there it is.
Not sure what they're doing.
Oh, maybe.
Has
You
to
know,
charge
those
the mouse,
tiles.
maybe.
Those tiles are very interesting. I totally get it.
He's touching them. Really inspecting those tiles. He's...
Oh no, he
Alright.
moved. You gotta inspect the tiles on the other side of the wall. Oh.
Tile inspector, Lumina.
Yep. Maybe that's what he'll be doing after.
If anybody asks you what your
retiring.
role is in the comp team, just tile inspector.
Yeah, true. That was, I love it when buildings disappear outside, and I guess they changed their mind on what they wanted to do with that wall. They're like, let's open it up, and then they were like, nah, let's close it. Wonder if that's going to happen with this wall as well. It might actually throughout the round, to be completely fair, but the round has begun, which I, to be honest, did not realize, considering we're still in this spectator mode, which my brain immediately just sees as like, oh yeah.
All right, this is
that's-
interesting.
You know. Just a little bit of a rabbit hole once you reach a certain level, certain height. Or like Minecraft, you're in the clouds, can't see you.
Yeah, the chunks just not rendering properly.
the chunks have not rendered.
Yeah. Yeah. Reminds me of a joke. I was in Paris once, but I never actually got to see the Eiffel Tower. I wasn't in range. That shit didn't render.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Rooney taking a little bit of damage. Couldn't quite connect onto him. Where did Benny get shot from? I think it was from bottom red. I think that actually might have been Rooney.
Yeah, I think
who
that
dropped
was a fight.
away all the way down. I love getting dizzy on the red stairs. So fun. But yeah, Benny does get picked up. 20 HP to his name, but still alive. Still able to put down those air jabs. Still able to have a gun in the fight. Still able to drone. 90 seconds of this round already gone, and they still have very little control, really. Of course, they have all of this top floor control, but they don't know that they do. They're still droning. They're still wasting a lot of time. They have not even begun doing any of that top floor destruction. Of course, now once they finally commence, they can really get stuck with it. Considering the fact that they have the ram, the buck, and the sledge, so a lot of this vertical destruction is going to be very quick and easy as we hit that final minute of the round. Still, even numbers, which is the first time we've had it happen for this long, and just as I say that, Watchdog finds cannon. That's the opening frag. Rooney sitting at the bottom of these red stairs, just waiting for somebody to push down his bingo.
Bingo.
Finds another one's Nate.
Careful.
Taking a lot of damage there from his own Vulcan canister.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no!
Ooh.
I think that pretty much just saved his life. That air jab just saved the life of Yono, and instead they shoot their teammates. Very unfortunate from Arrow, not able to connect onto that pick. Bingo is down. Kieran is proning next to it, trying to play for the bait. He's able to find one, able to find two. Huge picks for him, using Bingo as bait. Living bait. Just hook, line, and sinker. Now, Benny, the first one to get knocked, gets picked back up, but he's 0-5. He's 20 HP, and he's got 4 seconds to play with. Absolutely nothing. Nearly gets impacted to death by Kieran as well. There's fire in his way as well. There's nowhere for him to go. All he can do is sit in this corner and just hope that he gets to stay alive, at least for the sake of his KD. And, alright, Arrow, this is, that was not so good.
No, that was not so good. That was definitely not so good. They wasted a lot of time. They had a lot of misplays, a lot of missed drones. I have to say, the fact that they did not drone out coffee machines or bunker, however you want to call it, well enough to know that not only was there a downed Goyo there, but that there was just a prone deletion baiting. Very, very huge misplay. I mean, they lost 2 players there. The 2 players that made their way into the bomb site, the 2 players that were pretty much frontlining that entire attack, that had the control that they needed, that could have done the damage that they needed to do, and instead they both died to a player that they had no idea was there because they just simply did not drone. Now, in all fairness, I do not remember the drone count at that point, if they had any drones left to put out, if the drones that they still had already been pre-placed for flank watch or whatever, and it wouldn't take them too long. But then, if that is the case, that becomes a completely separate issue of, time waste. And, well, that's a bit of a cheeky Capcan placement there where it gets hidden inside of the trash bags. So, I really don't know how you spot that. Unless you know that it's there and you're expecting it, or, your IQ. I don't know how you spot that.
Yeah, you either need an IQ on the team or you need to have a high IQ to just know that that's a thing.
Wow.
I think that's
one.
your only 2 options, realistically. I mean, there's a lot of cheeky little things that you can do in comp, and anybody that, knows their way around competitive knows all these cheeky little tricks, and they're not really going to work. But, on the off chance that it does, that's exactly what this opportunity spotting is for. The slight little advantages. I mean, who wouldn't want a free advantage? Why not get a free Capcan trap kill? And so messing around with it and trying to see if you can just find the most disgusting spots to place utility, that is always the name of the game for evolving the meta. It's what pushes us forward to just be better players. I don't know, should I just add a motivational speech to that as well? Or?
Yeah, just reference caster / motivational speaker.
Yeah, I'll leave it at
what
that.
A shot!
All right.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, you don't need advantages in strategy when you can just do what Cannon did there.
Yeah, but you just need a
hit your
bullet.
shot.
You just need a single bullet.
And it's a DMR bullet too. That's going to be a headache when you wake up in the morning. Not going to be happy with that.
You're not waking up from that. You're not waking up from that one.
Oh, drone coming in. Another re-drone onto Cannon. They know he's there. They should by all means know he's there. They should know that his teammate is close to him as well. Around as well. But Tav actually able to find a pick. That's big onto Bingo. Yono is able to take down Watch Doge in the meantime as well. And Yono just moving all around below the skylight. Kieran able to find Benny as well. Just a lot of back and forth trades going on at the moment. Suddenly we're in a 2v2. Tav has taken a bit of damage. Bolita now has control finally of Piano for the most part. And Tav will come up here to join him. And there's not that many Fenrir gadgets to deal with because there's no Fenrir on the board, unlike Arrow's defenses where it was just continuously a pest for Lumina to try and deal with this. Not so much so for Arrow. They do get piano control for free. They're allowed to push up, and there we go. It works out for Tav as he's able to find Kieran. Only down to Yono. He's gotten 9 kills, but he's getting droned out now. He has a rough idea about one player. He should know that the other one is somewhere around red side as well, because he just got droned from there. But other than that, 20 seconds. Okay, Volita just wasting a Selma for no reason. Could have walked into it straight away. Volita taking more damage, but Tav on the off angle. There we go. Good teamwork. And the Capcom trap works after the round has ended. Unlucky.
Yep.
Trash bag's not coming in handy until after Yono is dead. Very unfortunate.
That was Ash too. If that had happened
Yeah.
a little bit earlier, or if the Capcan hadn't died, that 100% would have been a kill. And then all of a sudden it's a 1v1. We're looking at another. Who was the player in that situation? No, never mind. Arrow they're attacking. Because I was gonna say that better not have been Tav again, but no, it was Yono. It was Yono on the side of Lumina Gaming that was in that clutch situation. Unfortunately, did not quite pan out. And Arrow extend the lead quite far now. I say quite far. I mean, it's still 2 rounds, but they are putting themselves just a step away now from match point, which this is probably the most important match point that we've had so far, because it's the first time that it's Arrow on that match point and not Lumina. Of course, it hasn't happened yet, but should it, after this round, happen, it will be the first time that Arrow are on it. And it could just mean the end of Lumina Gaming's upper bracket run, which would really be a shame.
Yono saw 1 drone, and there was 2 drones right around him. If he uses his gadget, he should be able to find them as well. And, oh, yeah, there we go. I think there was 4 drones dead. I don't know why it's 2 now. We get a different operator with more drone. I don't know how that happened. The visuals there in the top right did not make any sense. It said there were 4 dead drones, and now there's 2 dead drones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I was just
from
gonna
production,
mention
I'm just hearing it's still bugged in prep phase. I didn't actually know about that. You learn something new every day.
No, yeah, that's been a thing for a long time. So for those of you that, well, actually not for those of you, but for all of you who can hear Producer Happy in our ears, confirmed that is a bug where if everybody swaps off that drone, so nobody is watching that drone, in prep phase it looks like it has been taken out, which is why it looks that way.
It makes sense from the perspective of Solus, because she can't see the drone if nobody's operating it, but it doesn't make sense for us.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed until now, because I usually check the drone counter in the mid round, because I want to know how many drones do you have for flanks and for getting info like into the execute, because that's really, really important, and losing drones early can be detrimental. But no, I got baited out by that, and in the meantime Arrow is just absolutely tearing through Lumina, who is just being overly aggressive, and Rooney gets taken down on a jump out. Cannon gets taken down by Benny as well. Suddenly it's a 2v5. Bingo, he's getting shot at as well. Nobody is safe from the wrath of Arrow trying to find their first match point opportunity, aside from the 7-7 in the previous round. So they really want to drive this one home. They want to tell you, Lumina, you should have closed this out on border. It's only down to Kieran, and we're about 1 kill away from match point. Kieran takes the first fight. He's able to connect onto Volita, but he takes a lot of damage in return. So with 1 minute and 20 left, these attackers have loads of time to play with, and watch Doge. He finishes it off. Gives him another 1v1, but nothing that Kieran can do out of that. Just swinging together, Watch Doge is the one that comes out on top, and a 3-round match opportunity from Arrow, the most confident lead that we've seen in this entire matchup. And that was after Lumina had all but won the game previously.
Yeah, pretty much. A very good run from Arrow so far. Lumina really not been able to put their foot in the door at all, which, you know, the thing that I find the most surprising here is the fact that Lumina haven't been able to fight back when they are on a very defensive side of Cafe on the defensive side. That is very rarely do you see that. Sure, you might see a 4-2 split, but then you're most likely expecting another 4-2 split in the next half, just because of how stupidly defender-sided Cafe is, and just due to the fact that it's so big. There's so many things they need to clear. There's so many positions. There's so much utility. I already spoke about this when I was talking about Azami and how useful she is, but it's really just not even just Azami. There are still so many things that you have to clear, especially if you're attacking onto this basement, or not basement, but onto this ground floor. There are so many things that you need to do. You need to clear out the entire upper floors.
Tread mine out.
and that takes a long time. And then by the time that you do all of the vert, you most of the time you end up with only about 30 seconds to work with. So, due to how big the map is, it tends to go the defense's way. Just because the attackers either lose players or lose time, and they just have nothing to do, which is exactly what we saw before from Arrow in a few of those rounds. So for Arrow to just be completely going through this, without really too much of a hitch in this attacking half, very, very surprising, I have to say.
Yeah, I think moving into this round, I think the one thing that I want out of Arrow is a bit quicker pace. They were very slow last time around attacking the ground floor here, and I just you called it basement, and I'm not blaming you for it. It's happened to me plenty of times. I call it basement all the time, and I think a lot of people do it. I wonder if that's a European problem, or if Americans do it as well, because it's just such a habit to call the bottommost floor on a siege map basement, even when it's not the basement. It happens all the time in on Cafe, especially because Cafe has 3 floors. I think it happens a lot less on a map like Coastline. Or Border, where there is only 2 floors.
Yeah.
But on Cafe, I think it's such a special case because it is 3 floors, but there's technically no basement. Yet people keep calling it that. I wonder if that's because it's not our first language, as that Nate nearly takes out Nate already.
Yeah. Golly.
Struggling a bit with that.
Oh
almost
my
getting a connection.
Lord.
Oh Jesus! Almost getting a connection onto Bingo. Nate just doing big work, almost finds the kill onto Bingo. Still trying to take it.
There he goes.
He's able to injure him. Bingo was injured last time, right around here as well. That was when Kieran was able to capitalize on a double kill. Is he, come on. Can't get it. I think you can see the red, but you can't really shoot it from there. Ooh, yellow ping. Nate is getting so close with these wall bangs. Somebody check up on his moss. That is not normally. Minute 10, man
check him
advantage for
game in
Arrow.
PC.
Yeah, just first
game
it was,
deficit.
we've had Tav accused in a previous round when he found a player inside a freezer. Now we've got Nate hitting some near wall bangs, very, very close to it. It's like the
but then he also naded himself, so I don't know.
Yeah,
it kind of balances out.
Well, I mean, that's what a cheater would do, right?
Yeah, true. It's like, oh no, look how bad I am.
All right, Rooney able to find Tav, at least equalize it. Kieran able to find Nate. Nice. Good job reversing that angle. That's hard to hit that. But Nate, of course, still alive, can crawl away from that. Can get picked up by Benny, but still low HP. So still important for Kieran to find that, even if he doesn't confirm it. Now Rooney getting tagged up heavily as well. He's just running around the map. There's no safe spaces for him anywhere. Benny takes down Kieran as well. This is going to be very, very difficult from Rooney. He's able to find 1. He's able to find 2. Suddenly it's a 1v1. We're not doing this again, Arrow. You're on match point. You should close it out. Don't give them the same opportunity. You know where Rooney is, and he gets caught. Benny does it. They don't let the same thing fall onto them as they did onto Lumina, and instead Arrow close it out comfortably on the 3rd map. A 7-3, the most comfortable map we've seen all day, and it falls to Arrow, a team that should have been gone if it wasn't for the workings of Tav. And once again, he's going to be in the middle of our screens on the MVP because, my God, is he ever. I don't even think it is close.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And I think that a lot of people might think, hey, what the heck? You just talked such a big game about Nate. He was getting all those kills. He had, like, the most kills of anybody in the lobby. Yeah, but did you see the clutch on Border?
Yeah, but did you see Border? Yeah.
Did you see the clutch? I think that alone just makes him MVP of the match.
And by the way, he was MVP on Border as well. He was at least at the top of the scoreboard. And deservedly so. MVP. Despite Nate being the one. Nate went double digits in both games as well, and that's impressive, especially the second map. Cafe was a lot shorter, and he was still able to find more kills, actually, than he did on the previous map. But by all means, with that clutch and the performance that Tav put up, we got to put Tav up on top.
100%
it has
agreed.
to be Tav for MVP. There's nobody else to do it.
It really just is. And the thing is, it wasn't just about how beautiful that clutch was. It's also about how important that clutch was. Because Lumina were on match point. We're on overtime match point. It was round 14. It was 7-6. They had 4-1. Like, it was, everything was in their favor. They already had a map up on them. Like, that was it. The game was over. The entire matchup was over. Everybody was packing up to go home. And then all of a sudden, Tav stepped up, said, hell no. And now it's a whole other map later, and Arrow somehow pulled out the win. So, yeah, definitely him MVP, and definitely a very, very good job from Arrow. it looked a little bit shaky all the way back on Clubhouse. There were some of those rounds that were, a little bit iffy, and you're like, oh, come on, they really could have had that. Same thing on Border, but Cafe was just all arrow. Attack, defense, they had it completely in the bag, and a 7-3 score shows that perfectly.
And by all means, with how Nate played, not to discredit the substitute at all, but with how Nate played, him getting swapped in was definitely a huge boon for the team. That was definitely something that they absolutely needed coming into Border. So just wanna shout out Nate again, even though Tav, I mean, there's no contention on him getting MVP, but Nate is a very close second despite all of it. And he was instrumental in winning the other two maps. So we can maybe chalk up Clubhouse to a bit of shakiness due to the sub. Just not really feeling yourself. That can happen from time to time. And so the map slips away from you despite you picking it. But that can happen. People win opposing map picks all the time. And I think overall, with how that third map went, Arrow absolutely they fought for every single inch in this matchup, and deservedly so. They get to move on and knock Lumina down into the lower bracket, where Lumina gets to wait for the next opponent until the next two matches are done, which are going to be tomorrow and the day after.
Yup, it'll be a very exciting time for the rest of these finals. Unfortunately, I will not be around for any of the following games, but I'll try to keep up and watch them as much as I can. Hopefully, we'll have the production team ready to provide you with the streams and everything, so you can follow along with everything that's happening. Of course, season 3 has been a bit hard to manage on the side of production things, so hopefully, we'll be able to provide at least a few more games throughout these playoffs. But I think that probably closes this one out. I mean, we've spoken about everything. We've mentioned Zemper more than we've mentioned probably anything else.
I think we probably mentioned Tav like once or twice more than we've mentioned Zemper.
Okay, so just Zemper to get it back to even. But yeah, thank you.
Zemper wouldn't have let that clutch happen. I'm saying
Zemper would not have let that clutch happen.
He would have won that.
He would have cut that in the bud.
Yeah, get Yono off the team, put Zemper back in. Gotta win that 1v1.
Yep. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching. I've been Retro. He has been Reprints. We'll see you, or hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.